so empty. The only thing I can see is my own silhouette. I'm getting stronger, step by step. The clock is ticking, but there's no time for regrets. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Feel like a dynamite, ready to explode right up in the sky. I need you to listen, I need you to hear, and don't show any fear. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. Yeah. We are heroes tonight. We will fly above the sky. We are heroes tonight. I've been flying from town to town, from London to Taiwan. I've been all around the globe, trying to protect your soul.
universe inside you. So won't you wake up now and see? Don't hide away the things you're feeling. Unlock your mind and lose the key. There's a universe inside you. You should never have to hide. I can see the stars inside you. Please just open up your eyes. There's a universe inside you. Inside you. There's a universe inside you. So much more than people know. I've seen you fighting your emotion. I hope you stay and won't let go. There's a universe inside you. So much love to leave behind. Stop the path of devastation. You should live for all the hype. Inside you, why are you pushing it away? Leave behind your own deception and learn to live another day. There's a universe inside you, your galaxy of happiness. I just wanna help you find it. We'll explore in baby steps. There's a universe inside you. You've gotta give it room to breathe. So let the universe excite you, 'cause that's the way it's meant to be.
Imagination is more important than knowledge. Where knowledge is limited, imagination encircles the world.
The Neon Gaming Studios matchup between LXG and Buriza. I'm CloudX. Hopefully my mic is okay. I'm actually using. If there are issues, guys, let me know. I'll try and fix them up as we go along the way. But for now, I think we should be hunky-dory. You're watching a best of 3 matchup, by the way. You've got LXG on the Radiant side and Team Buriza on the Dire. And it looks like we've got some rapid-fire drafting going on here with the Night Stalker, Tusk, and the Omni Knight getting banned off right off the bat here from LXG. Team Buriza responding with a Wisp, Life Seeder, and an Ember Spirit ban. Now, it's been a while since I've seen either of these two teams play. I'm fairly certain I've seen a lot more of Buriza of late, given that they have been playing in the higher tiers, but LXG, they are certainly a team to watch out for. In fact, Vivek and Floki both told me to keep my eyes trained on LXG. They seem like the up-and-coming kids on the block. Warlock going to be the opening pick here for Team Buriza. Wonder if LXG saw that coming. They do have 2 picks on the board here. Buriza, however, not giving away too much yet. The Warlock pick, it's, yeah, I want to say it's fairly open-ended, brings a lot of control, not a lot of control, but a lot of potential for devastating team fights with the Fatal Bonds. You've got that reset button with the Chaotic Offering as well. And in the lane, of course, you can use the Warlock as an extra source of sustenance if you want to couple him up with one of those hard farming one position cores like the Spectre. In fact, we've seen a lot of Warlock Spectre being done by teams like Fnatic of late. Eternal Envy on that Spectre for the most part, and I wouldn't be too surprised if Buriza took a page out of that playbook. LXG, however, not hesitating with their first two picks, not even dipping into the reserve clock here, getting themselves a Doom and a Rubik as their opening duo. I like the Doom versus the Warlock. It's, I mean, it's always tempting to drop the Doom upon him before he gets the Chaotic Offering down in the battlefield. Essentially take away the 5-position hero with the Doom, and then Doom, the hero, is fairly tanky even if he's jumped in on the front lines with extra regen coming out from the Scorched Earth and his natural tankiness as a strength hero. Buriza, however, they're going to open up with the Monkey King as their second pick. This does allow for a dual lane with the Warlock and the Monkey King. In fact, I'd say the Monkey King by himself in a one-on-one versus the Doom is more than enough to zone him out. But at the same time, Warlock isn't really the ideal hero to go rotating about the map looking for ganks, so his time is probably better spent in the bottom lane, in the top lane in this situation, because they're on the Dio, simply babysitting the Monkey King while stacking the jungle every now and then. I am assuming this is going to be a Monkey King that builds into a Battle Fury and tries to go late. Unless, of course, I'm reading this entirely wrong and it's a Monkey King on the 4 roll. LXG doing the smart thing, however, getting themselves the Elder Titan. That vision from the Astral Spirit, always useful versus the Monkey King when he's jumping atop the treetops. I'd reckon this is going to be a 4-position Elder Titan and a 3-position Doom. Maybe even a dual lane could be on the cards here for LXG. The Doom and the Elder Titan going up towards the top lane in the off lane. Sorry, the bottom lane in the off lane. Buriza, meanwhile, going to respond with a Skyrath Mage pick. So neither side really looking to dip into their reserve time. I mean, they've got their strategies laid out and they're just picking in a rapid-fire fashion. LXG now have themselves the 4th pick on the board. They've chosen to ban out the Kunkka. What's it going to be here? They're still looking for a mid and a 1-position hero to fill their gaps. As far as options go, you've got the Invoker on the cards if you want to run a mid Invoker. You've also got... I was going to say Queen of Pain, but she's been taken out of the mix here. What's good here versus Buriza? I mean, LXG seems to be lacking tower takedown potential, and I'd like to see maybe a Dragon Knight coming out for them. But they're going to go with the Phantom Lancer for now, and instantly you'll see Buriza responding with the Axe. That's one way to shut down the Phantom Lancer. I'm a little worried for LXG at this point. I don't really see the synergy with that Phantom Lancer in that draft. It's... I mean, on one hand, it's decent versus the Monkey King, who's more or less single target damage, but with a big boundless strike towards the late game stages, he might have enough firepower to clear out illusions, of course, if he times his spells right. But yeah, the one thing that Buriza was lacking was ways to deal with illusions, but they've got that now in the form of the Axe, and they might want to consider picking up their final hero as well, as something that can deal with illusions as well. That is going to be the mid pick. What's a viable option here that can take down illusions in a jiffy? I was gonna suggest the OD, but while I believe the Arcane Orb does do bonus damage to illusions, it's impractical to actually consider beating up on illusion by illusion when Phantom Lancer comes rushing at you with like 8 of them. Well, we'll just have to wait and see what they've got on the cards here. With a minute on the reserve clock, LXG now looking at their final ban for game 1 here of this best of 3. It is going to be the OD. So they're sparing no expenses, just getting rid of the OD, going into this matchup. While Buriza will round out their draft with a Tinker. March of the Machines, not the most reliable versus the Lancer. I mean, it's good, but that's assuming the Lancer is just going to stand there like a potato and take the entire... these illusions.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds.
Yeah, I think LXG might just be okay, even with that Axe pick into the Phantom Lancer. I think it might not be that terrible, Because now I mean, their game plan in these fights has to essentially be to keep the Axe at bay, disable his Blink Dagger if possible in the fights, maybe with the Elder Titan even. And then you basically got free reign for the Phantom Lancer to go ham on the fight. The Elder Titan also has I'd say a secondary benefit here up against the Tinker. In fact, the Astral Spirit is just great now that I think about it, versus both the Tinker and the Monkey King, who like to spend most of their downtime in the trees. Final pick on the board for LXG. They're looking for a mid laner, unless I'm misreading this and they're going to send Phantom Lancer to the mid, in which case they need a 1 position. It's still fairly versatile. I want to lean towards a Dragon Knight pickup just because they're still lacking tower takedown potential. But they could still go with the Invoker, but yeah, it's going to be the Razor. That's something I can totally get behind. Again, Razor's not too shabby versus the Monkey King in those team fights. He's also a natural Aghanim Scepter builder. I mean, an Aghanim Scepter does have value on him, especially if you want to go break buildings. But that does push their physical DPS through the roof once again, and Buriza, they're going to have to be careful. I mean, yeah, if anything, I'm going to say Buriza is going to have to keep their eyes on this Elder Titan more than anything else. Because if they can control him, prevent him from sending those Astral Spirits in the tree lines, that might give Tinker and Monkey King enough space to wreak havoc in the midst of team fights. At the same time, they're also going to have to protect their Axe before he jumps in. They don't want their Axe getting spotted and tagged by a stray Phantom Lance, or sorry, a stray Spirit Lance, or even an Astral Spirit, because he is practically their only source of reliable initiation here. Warlock is, I mean, I don't really count the Chaotic Offering as straight up initiation. I'd like to think of it more as a secondary stun, or even a source of counter initiation. And given its ridiculously long cooldown on the Chaotic Offering, it's not the most reliable way to start fights. Just gonna check if all my settings are okay. Not the work machine, not the studio machine today. But I think we should be okay. Yeah, it looks like everything's working as expected. Alright, for those of you just tuning in, you're watching LXG versus Team Buriza. This is a best of 3 final of a show match series, and I'm going to be your host for this evening, CloudX. You're watching the Neon Gaming Studio tournament. Not sure if the tournament really has a name, but yeah, the organizers are Neon Gaming Studio. Quick introductions on both sides for LXG. You've got Razor in the hands of Kaneki. You've got Jirain handling the Elder Titan. Doom's going to be in the hands of Shady. Rubik is going to be played by Parasite TM, and that puts Phantom Lancer in the safe hands of Mino. Dope. Meanwhile, on the other side, he's going to be playing the Warlock for Team Buriza. You've got Monkey King in the hands of... Well, unfortunately, we can't read his name when he's disguised like that, but... And look at the scoreboard. That's A_A. Lovely. I mean, totally not difficult to pronounce your name, my friend. Ghori, he's going to be playing the Axe. You've got Skyrath Mage handled by Pointless Existence, and that'll put Tinker in the hands of QWERTY. Axe getting lifted, thrown back, loads of damage stolen away here by Kaneki. 43 to be precise, but LXG will walk away with 2 runes over there.
This is mine.
While 2 will still go over towards Team Buriza. Fairly peaceful start here from both teams. Let's have a quick look at the warding. There's an interesting Dire Observer ward placed down right in the middle of the lane here. I'm not really sure if that ward... I'm not sure what that ward is for, to be honest. Ideally, you want to have the ward somewhere on the side to watch for those rotations, but... I guess it just gives you the vision of anyone deeping into the tower, perhaps, and a little bit towards the side as well. It's unlikely that ward's going to get dewarded either. Oh, Kaneki! He is in a lot of trouble here. 1 more Battle Hunger's back in 6 seconds. He's going to have to back off and use the salve already. That is not the way he envisioned this lane starting off. This dual lane with the Axe and the Skyrath Mage is proving to be quite troublesome, but on the top lane, it's not like they're going to be able to do much versus this Monkey King and Warlock either. Monkey King is naturally efficient versus melee cores and melee offlaners, and as he starts to get leveled, he's only going to get more and more irritating for Shady to stay in the lane. Not like Jiren's going to be able to do much here either, because he's also melee and susceptible to being tagged by those Jingu Mastery stacks. And of course, with Warlock coming in with the Mango and the Clarity Potion, he might even call out a few more Clarities. They've got enough sustenance here for Monkey King to keep farming. Elsewhere, at the middle lane, it is going to be the Tinker versus Phantom Lancer matchup. A matchup that does slowly start to hurt the Tinker quite a bit, honestly. As the Phantom Lancer starts getting levels, he's only got one objective, which is to farm and spam out those Phantom Lancers upon the Tinker. He's going to have to keep his regeneration items up and ready for fear of a gank coming in. Bottom, Razor in trouble. They've actually dove him under the tower. Axe going in deep here. Kaneki's in a lot of trouble there. One more hit from the Arcane Bolt would have done it. He's almost out of mana. Gets the Arcane Bolt. It's first blood over to its Parasite with the rotation coming out from Jirain. Now Aghori is in trouble as well. Great body block coming out from Parasite. He's got another Fate Bolt available with the Battle Hunger thrown upon him though. Is he going to be able to keep up with him? They have the Fate Bolt. No Arcane Spirit just yet. One more Fate Bolt does come out, but the stick charges are available as well. Aghori survives that and manages to get away. Well, Jirain gonna have to back off too, owing to the lack of mana now available to him. Kaneki. He's not having a good time in this lane whatsoever. Team Buriza have done a good job of shutting him down. He's sitting at just 4 CS up against the 9 on the Axe. And let's not forget, they've also got a kill going in favor of the Skywrath Mage, which means an assist over towards the Axe, who's now got a creep wave under his own tower. This is perfect for Buriza. On the middle lane, however, it seems like Mino's doing a fantastic job. He's up to 15 CS, up against the measly 9 on the Tinker. That's awkward.
Denied.
Up top, Shady. Sure, he's going to start feeling the pressure now. He's even got the Orb of Venom along with the boots available on this Monkey King, who's now got 2 points in those Jingu Mastery stacks. He could simply run at Shady, force out the Scorched Earth, and then come back in for another bout shortly after. Well, I feel like he could be playing a little more aggressively. He goes in with a boundless strike hit and follows it up with an auto attack as well. Elsewhere, creep waves once again being brought closer towards the Dire Tower. Aghori getting an absurd and obscene amount of farm here on this bottom lane. LXG is going to have to respond, and they're going to have to do it fast here. Because if they don't do something, this Axe is going to start getting out of hand. I don't think it's enough to say that their mid lane is farming, because Tinker, once he gets his BOTs, he's okay with losing out a little bit of CS there up against that Phantom Lancer. 80 in trouble here. They've got one more hit for the Jingus to stack up. He has the boundless available if he wants to commit for this, but choosing to hold on to it. But elsewhere, Parasite moves in and they do shut down the Tinker. Minnow with that DD rune being put to use. Dope. He's got the Fatal Bonds available, but he's being tagged here by Jiren. No Orb of Venom available for the Elder Titan, so they can't keep that chase going upon Dope. Elsewhere, Skywrath could be in a bit of trouble himself here with Parasite coming in. We also got Kaneki in the tree line here, but it looks like Pointless Existence will be able to get away scot-free. It's the battle for the 5-minute runes now. You've got Jiren contesting the rune towards the top lane while Dope is going to try and come in here. This is a bad idea. He's going to take a beating. He does end up taking the bounty rune, however, and walks away. Another Astral Spirit is available if Jiren wants to toss it out there, but he's going to let it go. So once again, it's 2 bounty runes apiece, with Parasite picking up 1. Bottom. My apologies, guys. Looks like I got booted from the game there for a second. Not too sure what happened, but I'm back in. Hopefully things should be okay. Just gonna quickly check with the admins if my Dota TV audio is still working. But sometimes when you reconnect to a game, it kind of goes haywire. Missed a couple of kills. Looks like QWERTY ends up going down there to the... Sorry, QWERTY ends up getting a kill there on the Phantom Lancer. Well, on the bottom lane, it seems like... I'm not sure if the Razor died actually. He does have a death to his name, but I believe that was the earlier death. Axe Doesn't have a death to his name, so it looks like that fight just fizzled out on the bottom lane somehow. Parasite has that smoke of deceit at the ready as well. It is nighttime if they want to make a play using it. Score sitting at 3 for 2 right now. Buriza in the lead in terms of net worth as well as EXP. Top lane, Monkey King again stacking up the Jingu Mastery. Does not want to commit with the Boundless Strike. Goes in with the Primal Spring, misses on Shady, who walked back just in the nick of time. Really, you can see that LXG, or rather Team Buriza, has spared no expense here. Even dropping down that Observer. What again? I'm sorry guys, missing kills across the map. QWERTY ends up getting one on Mino. While on the bottom lane, there's a bit of action happening as well. Kaneki going to work on Agori. Parasite does have the Fate Bolt. They've stolen a fair bit of damage, but it's just a level 1 static link, so it may not be enough after all. Agori trying to make a run for it, gets tagged with the Plasma Field, but gets a heal from the Warlock, and he's going to survive that onslaught. As Kaneki will resume farming in the lane. I do feel like this Monkey King could be doing a lot more on this top lane. He's just not shutting down this Doom as hard as I thought he would. Jiren making his way back up top now, but he's going to get spotted by an Observer Ward. This should allow the Monkey King to back off. Doom still not a level 6. They've got the Stomp coming out, but the Stomp will not connect. Look at this ridiculous amount of damage that he's taken upon him with that Infernal Blade. That's a level 3 Infernal Blade, and another one is about to tag him. The Boundless Strike comes out in the nick of time, and Shady can't quite connect the hit. Skywrath Mage now coming in as well. He has 2 points in the Concussive Shot and 2 in the Arcane Bolt as well. He chooses not to go for this. No more consumables available, but here we go. Shady, no Scorched Earth available, has that Stomp, gets it off, gets the Infernal Blade as well. Monkey King needs to get the regen, doesn't get that 4th Jingu stack as the Doom ends up dying to an Arcane Bolt instead, and because of that, both the Monkey King and the Skywrath Mage will take a fall, giving Jiren some much needed EXP and money on that top lane. This also doesn't bode well for the bottom lane for Buriza, because Kaneki's going to come back into the lane now, and he's back up with a whole bunch of consumables at the ready. Agori, however, he's farmed quite a bit here. He's sitting at 41 CS. Keeping pace with the Monkey King, but should be ahead of him in terms of net worth. Doom, once again, getting jumped upon. That Concussive Shot coming through deep. Shady, one more hit, tags him. Boundless Strike is there, and this time, there's no surviving for the Doom. It's a free kill coming out here for pointless existence under the tier 1 tower of the Radiant. That's one way to pull back into this game for the Monkey King. Not like he really needed it though. He's sitting on, well, on the 2nd spot on the net worth chart. In fact, the top 3 heroes in terms of net worth are on the side of Team Buriza. They're having a brilliant early game here, and LXG is gonna have to buck up.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mino using this time an opportunity to try and pierce this middle tier 1 tower, but it's not going to get much done elsewhere on the bottom lane. They do have the Echo Stomp available. He's going to tag the Warlock. Kaneki sitting a crap ton of damage here. Dope is going to get annihilated by Agori. He has the call available. He's got a lot of HP to work with as well with the Vanguard. Gets the taunt, gets the spin. He's trying to make a run for it. Jiren again dropping down the Spirit. Gets the Echo Stomp and it connects as well. Look at Kaneki though. He's going in deep. Gets a hit off. Gets a Battle Hunger upon him. But the dunk is there and Agori walks away with a kill of his own. The Vanguard damage block ticks in and Jiren could be going down as well. The Concussive Shot on the Arcane Bolt does come out, and with the laser from QWERTY rotating in as well, they'll get that kill. LXG have made a mess of things there in Buriza. They've punished them hard. Okay then, another freebie for QWERTY. As if he wasn't having a great enough game, he's now finished up his Boots of Travels with a Soul Ring and a bottle in the first 10 minutes of this game. And this is without clearing up stacks, if I'm not wrong. I don't even know if he had stacks, to be honest. He's having a ball of a time, honestly. LXG, they need to be careful about this now. I mean, Mino's used this time to actually do some significant damage on the tier 1 at mid, but might be too little too late, because QWERTY's got those coveted BOTs, and he's even got a regen rune to work with at this point. This incessant rocket and Mart spam coming out from him is Rather obscene, to say the least.
Dire's top tower is under
Elsewhere,
attack.
looks like Monkey King is being slowed down a little bit, sent back into the jungle as Doom has crossed that level 6 threshold and has some kill potential on the MK. Parasite's even going to rotate up top, so they really want to get this tier 1 tower. Maybe force out a rotation, but it looks like Tinker's okay to rotate now, given that he's denied the tier 1 admit. Here comes the Tinker. The Astral Spirit is available if they want to go for this. They haven't dropped it down just yet, and with the March and the Rocket Spam, they've managed to thwart this push. And at the same time, Axe uses this time to pressure the tier 1 of the Radiant side. TP's coming in. Shady. Oh no, that was I feel like that was a mistake of a TP coming out from the Phantom Lancer, just giving away his position on that gank on the Axe, and because of that, Agori is even going to get away scot-free. LXG are making some really silly communication mistakes. They've got to get it together, but Buriza, so far so good for them. They seem to be playing some good Dota. I think it's about time they pop that smoke and go looking for some kills with that chaotic offering. Ideally they want to go bottom, but as I say that, it looks like QWERTY is just busy man-fighting the bottom lane himself, forcing off both the Phantom Lancer and Parasite away from him.
Tower is under attack.
But yeah, they probably want to go bottom, maybe get some kills if they can, and transition that into a tier 1 tower takedown. A slightly delayed Battle Fury coming out for the Monkey King, and even though he's on top of the net worth charts, well, over and above any of the Radiant heroes for that matter, feels like he's been slowed down a little bit. Now QWERTY, just annoyed by that spirit sitting upon him. Or he can rearm. He needs that Astral Spirit to get the hell away. How are they looking on the Blink Dagger timings? Agori's almost there. And Tinker making some good progress as well. Kaneki still unable to help pressure that tier 1 on the top lane, while LXG will now smoke and move away from under a ward. The Radiant scan drop behind as well. Monkey King, he's just gonna get tagged by it. In fact, he could be going down. He's jumped upon the trees. Do they have a way to stop him? He jumps even further south and jumps away to the east. Monkey King will survive. He reveals a smoke gank and gets the hell away as well. Close shave there for Team Buriza, but now they're looking to mount a reprisal of their own here. On the cover of a smoke with a Blink Dagger on the Axe, they're ready to go. Kaneki, he's sitting a little low there on HP. Agori jumps in, gets the call off. They put the Mystic there as well. That's Shady taken out of the equation. A drop comes out and Kaneki will hit the deck as well. It's a double kill for Axe. What a way to unveil his Blink Dagger. And now they're looking for more. Parasite dump number 3. Do they have a call? They do seem to have a way to stop Jiren here. He's gonna go down. They get the call off. There's no TP available on him anymore. And QWERTY will come in and secure the kill. Just one person surviving on the side of LXG. Buriza wipes the floor with them on the top lane. And heck, they're gonna get a tier 1 tower for certain.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Minnow wasn't a part of that fight, so while he does survive, he hasn't gotten much done apart from pressuring the middle lane a little bit, which the Tinker is more than happy to respond to. On the top lane as well, TP is being cancelled. The push will be successful. You can see LXG making a desperate beeline through this lane, hoping to try and mount some sort of a defense, but the tower is losing HP fast. They have made it here in time though. Shady getting called once again, a Mystic Flare available, and again the Doom on the receiving end of the blows, but this time he's way too tanky to go down to just that, and he had the Scorcher pop preemptively. It'll be the Axe that drops. And that's a mega kill streak going over towards Kaneki. Meanwhile, the cover fire from the Tinker is proving to be a plenty. As Kaneki, he's going to end up going down, and the Fatal Bonds have also done some work elsewhere. While Minnow, he's just walking in the march, gets tagged by a laser stolen by Parasite, secures the kill on QWERTY. QWERTY, while he did end up going down, ended up doing so much work for his team, and now Jiren is going to pay the price for it as well, with the Monkey King and his Wukong's command securing that one. Elsewhere, Shady making a run for it from Dope. There's the Mango consumed. He does have a concussive shot if he wants to try and go for this, but Shady will back away. But once again, Team Buriza on the delivering end of the blows will send LXG packing. And while it did come at the price of an Axe and a Tinker, they do end up getting 3 heroes and a tower.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Agori prepping for a potential gank on this bottom lane, but little does he know he's being spotted by an observer ward both to the east and the west here. Just gonna go and push out the lane instead, while the rest of Team Buriza, they seem to be grouping up like they want to smoke and move, but it's probably not the best idea given how close to the Battle Fury this Monkey King is. Meanwhile, Tinker's conveniently finished up his own Blink Dagger as well. I've got to say, this is a very comfortable mid-game that Team Buriza are entering. But unfortunately, gonna have a disconnect coming out from Tinker. The great Indian Dota pause is upon us once again. Well, folks, I'm going to use this time to give a quick shout out to the sponsors of the tournament. I know you guys are going to call me sellout and all that, but remember, this is important. Sponsors are essential to keeping community tournaments like this one running. So a quick shout out to Samsung QLED, Circle Gaming, AMD, Fastrack, yours truly, AFK Gaming, and Neon Gaming Studio. For those of you that are just tuning in, whether you're watching on Dota TV or if you're watching on the live stream, a big warm welcome to you all. You're watching LXG versus Team Buriza, and as of now, Team Buriza are in the lead. This is the best of 3, and this is only game 1. Popcorn, and if you're over the age of 21, I think that's the legal drinking age, grab a beer as well. We're in for a long night filled with some good action-packed Indian Dota. I gotta say, I love the fact that the meta has now transitioned into a point where, you know, we've always got more than a kill a minute going. It's almost always the case, and regardless of what tier of game you're watching, that you're going at over a kill a minute approximately. And that makes for some good Dota viewership. I mean, no one wants to watch the old school farm fest Dota that we had back in the Medusa glory days. Everyone want to watch these blinking fighting axes with blink daggers and Skyrat flares with Skyrat mages with mystic flares to back them up. And that's exactly what they're going to do. As the smoke reveal, they've got that call coming out with the mystic flare, concussive shot, and arcane bolt. They'll get the kill. Quick, clean 2-man execution coming out there from Team Buriza. Well, they did get the sentry placed down here, but that observer is just barely out of range of it, so no D-ward on the back of that smoke.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
LXG are starting to show some signs of life, though. You've got a quick diffusal blade picked up on that Phantom Lancer, and this makes him a threat.
Radiant's bottom
and a force to be reckoned with, really. Once he calls out that diffusal blade to himself. Did I say blink dagger? I mean a quick diffusal blade, I'm sorry.
Radiant's bottom
but
tower has fallen.
The bigger issue is the entirety of Buriza are just starting to group up together now. They know they've got this snowball momentum going in their favor, and they know that they can even take these 4 versus 5 fights while Monkey King farms efficiently with that Battle Fury. The longer LXG maintains the status quo, the worse it's going to get for them, because with the Battle Fury, the Monkey King, if left unchecked, is certainly going to outfarm both the Razor and the Phantom Lancer. The absence of a Battle Fury on the Phantom Lancer also does hurt. You know for a fact that he's gone for the fighting build, and that's exactly what he needs to start doing now. Bottom. Pushes upon us. They've got the drop available, they've got the call as well. Axe choosing not to go too deep in. Got their eyes peeled, and there we go. He jumps in forward. They're going in with the primal spring as well. The Mystic Flare was a tad bit too late. There's the lift coming out. They've got the stun coming upon it. They've got the drop as well, but it's just not enough to finish the job. Wukong's command drop. LXG though, they end up getting a double kill as Kaneki comes in from behind along with the Phantom Lancer. Both the Skyrat Mage and the Warlock have hit the deck, and now it looks like Team Buriza are on the run. This is exactly what LXG needed to do. They needed to fight, and they needed to fight hard, and that's exactly what they're doing. Alpoli will be the next one to drop, while Phantom Lancer just tries to make a run for it here. Moves back towards the south side while that Chaotic Offering is chasing him. Tinker doing the right thing, cancelling the TP there. In fact, he's going to TP into the lane now, and again he cancels it. I'd say that fight goes heavily in favor of LXG. They lose 2, they end up getting 3. The backstab coming out from the Lancer and the Razor, purely successful. And while the Razor did end up going down for it, That is some much needed snowball money coming in for the Phantom Lancer. In fact, look at him. He's just gone all in the fight basket. He's even picking up the Shadow Blade next, which I assume is eventually going to get converted into a Silver Edge, which honestly is fantastic versus both the Monkey King as well as the Axe. You disable both the counter helix, either the counter helix or the Jingu Mastery, and you can straight up go man fight your opponent. Dope. Now with no chaotic offering for 90 seconds, he is on the clock here. In fact, I'd probably recommend that LXG pop a smoke and try and find some momentum of their own now. This is a window of opportunity with a drop down for 90 seconds. They should consider exploiting it. Fortunately, Minnow running a little low on mana right now. Got a shrine available if he wants to pop it towards the top side, and that looks like it's what he's going to do. Dope. Once again, shaving time off. 50 seconds to go till the drop is back online, while Tinker has finished up the Ethelyn, so expect him to keep his distance in these team fights. But the bigger cause for concern is that the Shadow Blade is now complete on Minnow as well. Pickoffs might come aplenty. Surprisingly enough, it looks like we're still seeing them push this bottom lane here. With the Monkey King sitting on the top side, he's actually keeping out towards the middle lane to keep farming. They're trying to push this 4 versus 5, and I don't think this is the best idea from Team Buriza, because the response from LXG would be devastating at this point. But then again, the drop is back online, so I guess they could afford to try and get back map control, and LXG are actually not in position to defend this. They did get the Echo Stomp off, putting the Axe to sleep there on the side, but isn't doing too much to stop this tier 2 tower from taking a beating from the siege creep. LXG, looks like they're choosing not to respond here at all. Just giving up their tier 2.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Minnow on the cover of a Shadow Blade, hoping to find the Tinker here on this top lane, but Tinker none the wiser will move out towards the middle lane. I disagree with that decision. I think LXG should have played a little more active after they won that last team fight on the bottom lane. Monkey King meanwhile got that Battle Fury and the Shadow Blade online for himself as well, so he could be hunting and looking for pickoffs of his own. Elsewhere though, they've got that call once again, and Mystic Flare 2. It's going to be the death of the Elder Titan, or is it? The Battle Hunger not doing nearly enough. He ends up surviving for now, but elsewhere there's another fight breaking out with Kaneki getting tagged with the Chaotic Offering, but look at the amount of damage he's stolen away from the Monkey King. Monkey King has no choice but to make a run for it, while on the backlines, they even got a backstab on the Tinker. Now Minnow's going to work on Agori as well, but Agori just spins to win and ends up surviving and even picking up a regen rune. Elsewhere, looks like Kaneki finished up on Dope. And as the dust settles, it's 2 down on the side of Team Buriza for the price of 1 on the side of LXG. Again, they come out on top in that skirmish. Monkey King going in deep here, thinking of going in on the real Phantom Lancer, but he's walking up into a tier 1 tower if he chooses to go for that gank, which really doesn't seem like a good idea. Minnow, however, sorry, Parasite, he's the real Monkey King now. Uh-oh! Did he just get spotted? I think he got spotted there. But how the hell do they look up onto the high ground themselves? I mean, unless the Monkey King goes and jumps right next to him, there's no way they're gonna spot Parasite TM here. Oh, okay, now they've definitely spotted him. He's done. Yeah, there's no way he survives this. That was a bit too cheeky.
Illusion.
12 to 21, 24 minutes in. It's a 7,000 net worth lead in favor of Team Buriza, but it's not an insurmountable one if you're an LXG fan. You're in. Some amount of defense on this middle lane, but Agori is just super tanky at this point, willing to tank up creeps. However, with the natural order damage, base armor reduction kicking in there, Agori needs to be careful about how he plays himself. You don't want to be jumping in, overestimating your armor stack when Jiren takes away most of it. However, I think what the axe does have working for him is the fact that Berserker's Call adds to additional armor and not to your base armor. And natural order essentially just takes away your base armor, so when he does use the Berserker's Call, he's still got a lot of armor to work with. Kaneki, happy to steal damage from an illusion there. Uses that damage to farm, and LXG done a good job of still maintaining the tier 1 on the middle lane. What this tier 1 tower does is so valuable. It prevents smoke rotations coming out through the middle lane in towards the ancient area and in towards the safe camp for LXG. So they can feel relatively safe about farming in this general vicinity if they have a sentry and an observer placed down here, or even a ward just looking at the ruin spots. Mino, he's choosing to go for the BKB next. He's already picked up the recipe along with the mithril hammer, and now he's even got the money for the entire BKB. There's that big ticket item that he needed to deal with both the Skyrath Mage and the Tinker bit. Is it enough at this point? I mean, he is packing quite a punch, and we did talk about, I mean, the basic tenets of this game still remain in place, where Team Buriza just doesn't have too many responses to illusions barring the axe and maybe the occasional fatal bonds. But that's a smoke revealed now. There's the jump in. Shady, unlikely to survive this, gets tagged by everything and gets dunked to death. They even drop a chaotic offering. What? Okay, that was totally unnecessary. Dope just getting trigger happy there, and because of that, they're gonna walk away with just 1 kill. I actually think this is worth it for LXG, because Buriza are now going to be running without a chaotic offering for a good 2.5 minutes, and Doom respawns in 20 seconds. If you're LXG's captain, you probably just make a call to pop a smoke and make a move right now. Ooh, Qwerty taking a real beating there from those Phantom Lancer illusions. Call coming up from the axe. He actually caught Agori. Agori actually caught Mino. They do get the Phantom Lancer. Man, that's just... That's painful, because the Doom was just about to respawn. Mino just had to play it safe for a few more seconds there, but unfortunately, some good movements from Buriza catch him out, and because of this, they're not even going to be too peeved by the fact that the chaotic offering isn't available anymore. They've now shaved off 50 seconds from that wall out cooldown, given that Phantom Lancer isn't going to be available for that duration. And with no buyback available, they're going to go into the Rock Pit rather confidently as well. However, Jiren dropping that spirit into the pit, gets the Echo Stomp off on 2. They're going to drop down the Spirit as well. It's going to tag on both of them there. But is it enough? The invisibility is there. A Mystic Flare thrown down preemptively as well. And it looks like Buriza will disengage. No Roshan here for Buriza today. Jiren and co, they've done their jobs. Thwarted an attempt on Rosh's life, and bought themselves a new lease on life. And snare picked up by Shady. I wonder if that's going to add much value here. He does have that blink into the ensnare available if he wants to try and catch a Tinker before he jumps away. And you got to remember, we still have to see this BKB being expended by Mino. Trooping up near the rush pit like they want to take a fight. And they've got to be cognizant about this observer and sentry combination placed down by Dope. Parasite even going to get the D-ward off on its high ground, just constricting the vision around the rush pit. But the problem is Qwerty is pushing out that bottom lane, which means that someone on the side of LXG is going to have to go there eventually to prevent chip damage from going in on tier 3 tower. And when that happens, we might just see Team Buriza make a beeline into the rush pit. Razor down on the bottom lane with no means to really get back here quickly. I mean, the best he could do is TP out to the tier 2, because the tier 1 is no longer there, or the shrine. But again, they're going in. Monkey King cosplaying as a tree, gets bashed by Roshan. The Echo Stomp will connect on the back of that. Do they want to follow it up with a split earth? They're going to go in. The Doom comes down. The Axe has been eliminated. He's taken out of the fight. The BKB comes up from Monkey King. The drop is there as well, and they will bring down Shady before he gets work done. Now Minnow in trouble, makes a run for it as well. One more hit from the Monkey King will give him his Jingu Mastery stacks, but is Minnow going to be able to get away from here? He's going up onto the high ground. The Jingu Mastery is going up, and now Monkey King overstayed his welcome, walked into a sentry that they knew was there, and ends up getting taken down. Buriza just not fighting as a unit, but they're gonna go in now and punish the Phantom Lancer as well. That kind of saves it for them. Agori being the MVP there, just going in, finishing off that Phantom Lancer, and now opening things up again for another pursuit. They're gonna go in on Kaneki, force out his BKB. The call is there as well, but where's the Blade Mail? Without the Blade Mail, he's just not doing nearly enough damage. But Kaneki, he's stolen so much damage, he can't make too much of it though. Agori still giving chase, rockets coming in incessantly. There is a blink available, but there's no dunk available after. Tinker still giving chase, a little low on mana though. And he knows he has to get out of here, but he just can't do so. QWERTY trapped up, lifted up, and brought down into the grave. What an absolute mess of a team fight. Both teams just making the worst possible calls, losing their one positions in a very clowny fashion. It really feels like the offlaners are the ones saving the day here for both LXG and for Team Buriza. Agori's been playing, I mean, fairly impressive, I have to say, on that axe. And I've got to say, there's some credit for the Doom as well, jumping in, dooming up the axe, preventing him from being a factor in the first few stages of that match. Or of that skirmish, rather. But I just don't get the obsession with this Rosh pit. Neither side is efficient at taking Roshan this game, and yet they're gonna try incessantly to go in, losing team fight after team fight. Just seriously, guys, just save it for when you've taken a successful team fight of your own. They're going back into the pit here, and I don't see how this movie ends any differently again. There's the spirit. They're gonna know he's up to no good again. Roshan, Echo Stomp. This time it's only gonna tag Agori. But they're just getting back in position here to fight. Kaneki wants to go in. Agori with the... Oh, beautiful call coming out there from Agori. Take a bow, my friend. He's just opened up this team fight for Team Buriza, taking down both the Lancer and the Rubik in one fell swoop. That's going to be the death of Agori, though. He's done his job, while Tinker will fend off the rest of them. Remember, the Monkey King is still in the vicinity. He's popped the Wukong's command, but he's just out of range to get anything done. I mean, it doesn't get better than that if you're an axe, but his team's gonna have to go in and make the most of that space now. Gone into the pit. They should claim Roshan here, and there's nothing that they can do about this. LXG in no position to contest. Finally, we're gonna see the Aegis going over towards the Monkey King. 6 stuff coming out from Agori there. Shady going towards a BKB of his own, but no real responses to the physical damage coming out from that Monkey King, and of course the blade mail damage coming out from the axe. Jiren, he's going for the Yule Scepter. I think, yeah, that's definitely going to be a useful item up against that axe. Just Yules him as soon as he drops the call. Monkey King, he's going back for the Sanjin Yasha. On one hand, okay, I'm going to hold that thought for a little later because Jiren's about to meet his maker in the middle lane. But yeah, back to the Monkey King with the Sanjin Yasha. I think, I mean, on one hand, yeah, it's good versus mobile heroes like the Phantom Lancer and the Razor. You want to have some sort of mobility of your own to try and catch up and keep up with them. But on the other hand, it isn't going to boost his TP, his damage output straight off the bat, and that might start to be a cause for concern. But yeah, I guess you do need mobility to try and break that static link as often as you possibly can. Oh, Blinken once again. Agori just waiting for the plasma field from the Razor. He's taken out of the equation ASAP. And with a 70-second death timer on the Razor, Team Buriza, they're going to get a tier 2 tower off of this. They've got the drop, so they could even consider just going high ground with this.
Radiant's top tower has fallen.
Yeah, in fact, it looks like that's what they're going to do. Aegis available, drop available, BKB's back online. And 50 seconds till the Razor respawns. At best, they could simply force out a buyback on the Razor and back the hell away. Tinker is ensuring that all lanes have momentum before he joins them on this top lane, and that seems like the best thing to do. Monkey King sieging away at the buildings. There's the stolen boundless strike as well from the Rubik. Tinker. He's ensured that the middle lane is pushed in as well, so in case this fight goes exceedingly well, they might even be able to get some more buildings on towards the middle lane. And the best part about this, I was about to say that the siege creeps are coming in, but the siege creeps are far off here on the top lane. Razor, no buyback expended for him, but tier 3 has taken a fair bit of damage after this.
Smart money.
Are scanning.
QWERTY, even getting that Aghanim Scepter for more control and chaos in these team fights. Pings coming out. They know precisely where Team Buriza Zeros are hanging about. Agori, he jumps in again. Do they have enough to finish the job here? They've got the Wukong's command drop down, but BKB from Shady. He gets the Doom off on the axe, but he might just end up surviving himself. He's walked away with the BKB active. The Scorch Tip is there as well. A big drop on the backlines. Kaneki with the double kill. He's looking for more. Is he going to work upon the Skyrat mage who's man fighting him as well? Triple kill for Kaneki from the backline. An Arcane Bolt is chasing him down, and so too is a Monkey King. Boundless Strike is available, but it looks like Kaneki will drop, but it's just the Monkey King left alive with his Aegis. The backstab once again coming in on the backlines there from LXG. Really, that was just there was only one scenario in which LXG comes out on top in that fight, and that was it. Kaneki getting off the backstab there, getting off a bunch of kills, and Monkey King just being isolated with a Doom inside the tier 3 tower. Good stuff, LXG showing that they're not out of this just yet. But Buriza, they've still got the upper hand and by quite a margin. Parasite, he's had to play a very sacrificial role this game. Just walking about with tranquil boots, planting the wards and buying the utility items for his teammates. While Elder Titan's been given the luxury to pick up some items of his own. He's got the Yule Scepter in addition to the Glimmer Cape. Both essential defensive items that are needed this game. Once again, Agori and Pointless Existence gonna go under cover of the smoke. Almost got that Aghanim Scepter finished up on the Skyrat mage, so expect those double, triple Mystic Flares upon an axe call. Here we go, Shady. Gonna get called, gonna get Mystic Flare up. Do they have enough? Yeah, looks like they do. Axe. Once again, just being a playmaker here for his teammates in synergy with the Skyrat mage, and that's 50 seconds without the Doom and without a buyback on him as well. This could be troublesome. Bottom lane is pushing in quite nicely.
Invisibility.
While they do have, while they've lost the Aegis on the Monkey King, they still have a fair bit of firepower and can consider going up onto the high ground here. Heck, they're even going to use an offensive fortification to get the creeps into the base. Chill Spirit getting that Echo Stomp off while Agori, he's waiting there. He has been spotted by a sentry ward though. That's an invisibility rune upon him as well, so he's still got the Shadow Blade invisibility after. Doom back in 10 seconds. Once again, it looks like they didn't have to force out a buyback, or rather, even if they, well, they didn't even have a buyback to begin with, but they're going to be able to defend their tier 3s for now. Wukong's command with a bigger ring. They're going to go in now. Can they contest this? Astral Spirit slowing him down for now. BKB popped by Shady. What on earth was that? His blink got cancelled by the Wukong's command and he chose to go in nonetheless. A big drop comes out, but the damage has been stolen by Kaneki. And while sure they've lost the Doom, They've ended up defending their tier 3 tower on the backlines. Minnow going to work, ends up bringing down the Monkey King, and now with their primary source of DPS taken out, the battle has begun. There's the mana taken away from the Warlock, nothing available for him to fight with, and the chase is on. LXG going to work, Pointless Existence, gets himself the kill, but ends up going down as well. Now Agori with the Blade Mail activated, he's losing mana quick. The Hex comes out, Tinker in the vicinity, but needs to back away. He's going to get lifted and thrown back down, and they're going to ping him out desperately. How the hell did he get away from that? What the holy hell was that? That shouldn't have happened. Just a lapse in judgment there. I think Parasite should have got one auto attack off, or was he invis under cover of a Glimmer Cape or something? I'm not sure what I missed there, but Team Buriza escapes with their cause by the skin of their teeth, but they did end up losing the Monkey King there, and they didn't do significant damage to this tier 3. Bit by bit, LXG are starting to show signs of life here. I think it's about time that Team Buriza started thinking of utility items like the Lotus Orb on Agori and maybe even a Lincoln Sphere on this Tinker. In fact, Monkey King might want to consider getting a Lincoln Sphere of his own to deal with that Doom, as opposed to that Scotty that he's got queued up. Roshan is back online in another 45 seconds, so expect another contest to be taking place near the pit. Mino looking to go to work here. QWERTY spotted out his Blink Dagger. Now it's been cancelled. They got the Axe call off, but it's only on illusions. Skywrath Mage coming in, drops down 2 Mystic Flares. They end up getting both QWERTY and Parasite. Or rather, QWERTY ends up going down in exchange for Parasite. Elsewhere though, this fight's not over. Agori giving chase, gets that call off, has the Blade Mail, but the use from Jiren puts a stop to all of that. The 4-star ends up getting him away. Agori tagged by a BKB Doom and is stunned. The Infernal Blade was there as well. Another coming, 2 Mystic Flares thrown upon that Faden Lander, but his illusions are soaking up a lot of that damage. Now Agori, why the hell is he still alive? He's going to end up going down here nonetheless. Wukong's command dropped by the Monkey King. Can he get any work done? He's got Doom upon him as well. But he's standing in the Wukong's command ring, and unfortunately, the Skywrath Mage can't quite get there. Kaneki ends up walking away with a double kill, gets the Shiver's Guard off as well, and ends up tagging Dome. He's got 236 bonus damage. Look at the hurt he's dishing out here. It's a triple kill for Kaneki. And LXG, they're right back into this game. Now they're even gonna get this free tier 1 tower. It's just been standing there like a sore thumb sticking out. At 42 minutes in, the bottom tier 1 goes down. And LXG, they're happy to claim the money for it. This Phantom Lance, he's getting uncontrollable at this point. He's got a heart in addition to the BKB. Oh no, they might have just got the Monkey King. They had detection with the gem coming out from Jiren as well. No BKB available either. Another Spirit Lance comes out. There's the Spirit. That will be the death of the Monkey King. And Minnow, because of that, he's even gotten a step closer towards his butterfly. And look at this, Roshan's been spotted as well. With Heart allowing his illusions to soak up the damage here, he is certainly going to be able to take down this Rosh. And a measly little Tinker isn't going to be enough to defend this. Team Buriza, this game is slowly slipping away from them, but it ain't over till the fat lady sings. There's still a couple of power spikes that could be going their way. For starters, they've got the Scotty finished up on the Monkey King, which wasn't a part of the last fight. And for sloppy seconds, they're gonna have an Aghanim Scepter coming out on this Warlock eventually.
Roshan has fallen to the Radiant.
But my concern is it enough to deal with an Aegis on Minnow, who's got that heart and a BKB, and a cheese after that Aegis runs out as well. The good thing for LXG is they really haven't lost their tier 3s yet, so even their shrines are still available if they want to mount backstabs and counter moves. But top lane, adios Tinker. Even if this arm comes out for good measure there, that's his death. 74 seconds without a Tinker. Doom wasn't even expended for that one. got him with his pants down, and because of that, they're gonna get a free tier 2 on this top lane as well. Monkey King. I think the right move here is to go bottom and start giving momentum to the push to the bottom lane, but unfortunately he doesn't have a TP for 70 seconds, which means if he moves towards the bottom lane he may not make it back in time to defend his high ground, especially if he pushes more than just this one creep wave. LXG, they're gonna go for the high ground. Looks like they aren't. Gonna hang around inside the jungle, looking for the D wards.
Oh, I feel better already.
Just regaining map control. That's the name of the game here for them. That's straight up 2 wards taken out of the jungle, leaving Buriza in entire darkness. This is not looking good for them at all. I'm still not a fan of Axe's 4-star pickup. I feel like he should have considered getting the Lotus Orb. You need some layer of defense versus the Doom, but there's the 4-star sending him further away, and then he gets used up as well. The call was a waste, and now they've got the drop coming out as well. The Fatal Balls have been dropped too, but it's just not enough. Mino, he's already taken out Dope on the backside. They've got a pan back where the Monkey King ends up taking down Shady. There's the Aegis respawn coming out. Mino, he's gonna back away for now from the Wukong's command ring, while elsewhere Agori ends up going down. It's a double kill for Mino, who's joined the fray once again. It's 2 down on the side of Buriza, just a Doom taken down on the side of LXG, and even that Razor ended up surviving. He got a cheese thrown over to him, which he now consumed too. Hex coming out upon the Razor, Tinker instantly blinking away. Mino pops his BKB, wants to go for a kill, but just can't seem to latch onto a target. Now they found the Monkey King, he doesn't have a BKB, and he is going to be sent to the grave. He does have a buyback available though. Mino, with that heart regen kicking in, he's once again on the hunt. Look at this, by the way. He made a smart choice to go for the nullifier instead of going for the butterfly. And allows them to shut down a hero and take him out of the equation instantly. I would still advocate going for the entire Silver Edge just for that break up against the passives on the Axe and that Monkey King. But for now, I think he's going to be happy with a freebie on the Skyrack Mage. That's a gem as well dropped on the floor, so that kill was actually a lot more valuable. Thought it was. Mino is spawning the Illusion Army once again, ready to go to work on this tier 2 tower in the middle lane. Unfortunately, the March is just not doing enough damage as well because its illusions are just tanky as all hell. Going to be the tier 2 on the mid taken down, and with that, Buriza are left with just 1 outer tower on the bottom lane. For the first time in this game as well, you can see LXG getting into the lead here in terms of net worth and EXP. And if there was ever a doubt up until this point, the comeback is definitely real. It's going to be interesting to see if Team Buriza can get their wombo combo going once again. I don't want to say they're out of it just yet. Fatal Bonds could work against the Phantom Lancer too. If he's linked along with any of the opposing heroes and any of his allied heroes, and they dish out a significant amount of damage upon him. Team wipe very quickly. He does have a... Apologies guys, just tabbed out for a moment. They got smokes coming in. They've gone in once again inside the jungle. Kaneki getting tagged there. He does have his BKB activated, but he's stolen about 140 damage. The drop was there to Doom as well. Monkey King with the Wukong's command has way too much armor to care about what Kaneki is going to do to him. That's 99 seconds without the Razor, and just a Skyrat Mage dying on the side of Buriza. Now Shady comes in. They've still got the Doom working upon the Monkey King. He's sitting in this now under cover. But is he going to go down? A boundless strike is needed there. If he wants to get the lifesteal, almost gets it off, but the Yule sends him up into the air. Now the Jingo Master is gone. He's in this once again. Turns around and gets 1 kill. Turns around with the boundless and helps secure another one. LXG on the receiving end of the blows once again. Some sick stuff coming out here. Warlock even sacrificing his life for a third chaotic offering golem there. Doing some copious amounts of damage.
Dire are scanning.
Team Buriza. Just when you think they're out of it, they bounce back harder and stronger. Remember, it's just game 1 of a best of 3. The score is sitting at 35-42, and neither side has even taken so much as a tier 3 tower. This game is turning into an intense slugfest here. Both teams battling it out, giving it their all. If I was a betting man and I'd put money on this game, I'd be wetting my pants by now.
Yeah, coin.
How long till the next Roshan? Because that seems like the next crucial spot for a team fight. A minute at best for Rush to respawn, but we'll know for certain in a bit longer. Meanwhile, Phantom Lancer. Looks like he's finally finished up that Silver Edge. He's still got a bit more of a power spike available to work with. For starters, he could get himself a moonshot, but I don't know if he can go anywhere else beyond that, honestly. I think the moonshot is probably the last item he can pick up, and then he swaps out the treads for the BTs. What a call. It's upon the Razor. They're not able to do enough damage upon him here. He pops his BKB, and now the damage steal has begun. BKB pop by Agori. He's got the Hex coming out, and they're trying to control him as best as they can. Doom not available for another second. He's got it available now. Drops it at the Monkey King. The mute is there, the stun as well. They've ended up getting the Phantom Lancer down, but the axe ends up dropping as well. Now they've taken out the Doom as well, while the Razor will make a run for it. LXG once again on the receiving end of the blows. The absence of the Doom in that fight, I think that's what cost them big time. Tinker just standing on the backlines, dishing out the rockets and the lasers time and time again, and of course a major chunk of damage being done by the Monkey King before getting tagged by the Doom. This is troublesome for Team LXG. Looks like a tier 3 tower on the bottom lane could be exposed, and it could be going down. Fortification is available for the Radiant. They could consider popping it. They've also got 2 buybacks available, one on the Lancer and one on the Doom. There's Mystic Flare coming out. Mystic Flare number 1 was there, and then the Chaotic Offering dropped as well. They're just going for the buildings here. With Monkey King dropping down the Wukong's command, they really want this tier 3 tower. But I'm surprised the fortification wasn't used earlier. Now it's been dropped. But I think this tier 3 tower is still going to end up going down here. Warlock, look at him, he's ready to sacrifice his life to make another goal, and he's even gonna walk out, and that's a big fatal bond coming out. They've got to be careful. 2 BKBs pop instantly. Dope gives up his life and becomes a golem instead, and now they've got 3 golems on the floor going to work on the buildings. They're just focusing the melee barracks. Monkey King in trouble, and the golems are gonna end up dying as well. Quirty, what have you done? He just TP'd out into the middle of the battlefield there, gets used up and controlled, and it could be his death, and indeed it will. That's a dieback on him. He's down for 106 seconds with no buyback available, giving Kaneki a triple kill. But the melee barracks, they still stand. The backdoor regen even kicked in after all of that, and now it's just free money from the golems for the cores of LXG. And the best part of it all for LXG, Tinker didn't even, Lancer didn't even buy back there, so he still has the buyback available for the next fight. That fight entirely in favor of LXG. I think there's no question about it. Buriza might have messed up. Fortunately, we've got another inconvenient disconnect coming out on the Tinker. He did have internet issues even at the start of the game, they mentioned. Took a while to join the game lobby, but I wonder if it's too little too late at this point. If you're LXG, you probably just want to barrel down a lane now, force out as many buybacks as possible until you realize the Tinker doesn't even have a buyback available, and then you go for the jugular. There's no fortification available for the Dire side. It's a good 3.5 minutes till they get it, so a tier 3 tower should be guaranteed at this point if they play their cards right. In fact, it may not be such a bad idea for Buriza to make some preemptive moves of their own. Possibly popping a buyback on the Monkey King, send him to a lane and start pushing out the lane. Just make sure that there's momentum going in favor of Buriza so that they can threaten to take a counter lane of barracks. But there is a massive creep wave coming in on the bottom side, and someone is gonna have to deal with it. Also, for my fellow Mumbai brethren, it's raining once again. I do hope that doesn't affect my internet and electricity issues. Usually it doesn't go bad, but you never know. Roshan taking a beating here from LXG. There's the buyback coming out now from Pointless Existence. So they made the safe call, going with the Rush Pit to claim an Aegis and a Cheese, and the refresh shot this time as well, but they've just not done enough damage upon him. Johnson gets the play, gets the call. Two Mystic players placed perfectly there. They take down both the Rubik as well as the Elder Titan, but it's just two supports taken out now, and there's no buyback on the Skyred Mage. And remember, there's going to be no buyback on the Axe as well. He's been doomed up here, looking for an exit, but won't find it. With the Skadi slow coming out, that's it. A death on the Axe. Forget about what I said earlier. Looks like the Axe did have buyback, but now Dope's in trouble as well. Pops the Glimmer Cape, makes a break for it, while the rest of his team will continue to go to work on Roshan. It's the last hurrah coming out from Team Buriza. They'll buy back again with the Axe getting in position. They're thinking of going in here, but Roshan is dropping hard and dropping fast. Axe, can he get in here? Can he mount any Aegis here? He goes in, he gets the blink, he gets the call, he pops the blink, but he gets used up into the air. Roshan has fallen and the Aegis has been claimed, but the fatal balls are there. And it looks like they're going to end up getting one kill there. Shady's going to be the one to go down. Monkey King doing an obscene amount of damage in the pit there. Who picked up what there exactly? That was an Aegis picked up by Minnow. He picked up the refresher shot as well. The Cheese, it's on the Doom. Alright, so he picked up the Cheese there. But he's dead for 88 seconds. Maybe this is an opportunity for Buriza to try and reach high ground once again. Gotta remember, they've taken down the tier 3 on the bottom lane, so they could just as easily go from mid to bottom and take the rest of the barracks there. No fortification available for about a minute and a half. Agori, he's gonna have to make some crucial decisions here. You gotta remember, he's got no buyback available. So if he jumps in and loses his life, that could be all she wrote. A smart observer ward placed down by Parasite, but it's been dealt with courtesy the gem on Dope. How do they enter the base when the creep wave is so far behind? Thinking of going in, Kaneki. Stealing about 60 damage there. Looks like the push has been thwarted. Once again, we're back at status quo.
Radiant's bottom shrine is under attack.
When in doubt, break a shrine. Team Buriza find themselves some free money once again, but at this point, when everyone is sitting at max items, not sure how valuable that money is going to be anymore. Looking at a refresher orb coming out on the Monkey King. Another convenient way to go in and breach buildings. Drop a Wukong's command, BKB, hit the building, refresh, rinse and repeat. And of course you do it with double golems. Well, 4 golems now, considering there's a refresher orb on the Warlock as well. Look at this, they've walked in, they got the sun off, they got the call off as well. Mystic players dropped down upon both the Rubik as well as the Razor. Razor, he's taken out of the equation for 100 seconds, he's got nothing done as well. That's 4 golems on the floor, and it looks like they're ready to go high ground. Wukong's command drop, Minnow controlled on the backlines, Aegis taken away from him as well. Could this be all she wrote here? What an echo stop though. Here comes the Earth Splitter as well. It's gonna connect on a bunch of them. Doom comes out and drops it upon the Axe. Algori taken out of the equation. Warlock in trouble as well. They're doing a fair bit of damage. The buyback comes out from Minnow as well. He actually evaporated over there to the Golem army. Now Jiren's in trouble. Dope ends up becoming Golem himself, and with the immolation damage, they might get that kill. But they're going to drop the rockets. They're going to get 1 kill there. The Hex comes out upon the Doom. They got another Hex. They get it off as well. Minnow going in, wants that Tinker and goes straight for him. The blind is there. I think he cancelled a rearm there in the middle of all of that and ends up getting taken down. Buybacks galore. You've got one buyback now coming out from the other side. The Golem army coming behind. The buyback comes out from Koeti as well. He gets the rearm off. Does he have a way to deal with this illusion army? They're just gonna bring him down time and again, but the pound this strike controls it. The Lotus off with the Hex. The Yule sending the Monkey King into the air. Minnow goes in this, but now they're still chasing Koeti. He's got the PKB activated. Can he blink out of this? It looks like he can. That was too close for comfort. Now Minnow's being chased. He gets hexed up again. The lasers! They get sent back upon Koeti, who hexes from afar once again. It's a team wipe in favor of Team Buriza, and this time, no one on the side of LXG has a buyback. It's Monkey King and Tinker barreling down this bottom lane, looking to finish what they started with the racks exposed. They're gonna reach high ground successfully for the first time this game. Or are they? Because the Razor's back on the field, and in 10 seconds the Rubik is going to be coming back online as well. Watch for the Hexes once again. If they jump in on that Razor and bring him down here, things are going to go horribly wrong for LXG. Monkey King still going to work on this middle lane. They've got the lift coming out. They've got that static link connecting as well. Kaneki, no, he didn't get the static link off. That is just all sorts of wrong. But Monkey King looks like he's making a few goof-ups of his own as he's going in deep. Gets that bound this cycle. Gets one kill on the Rubik, and now they're looking for more. The Razor, perma hexed up there and brought down bit by bit. No buyback for 100 seconds. Monkey King being threatened by the Doom coming at his face here, but he just jumps over the tree lines and over the cliff and gets the hell away. Pointless existence. What can he do here? I mean, he's been dropping down those Mystic Flares quite efficiently, but at this point, it really does feel like the Axe and the Monkey King show, and to a certain extent, even the Warlock show. They've got the Refresher up back in about 20 seconds, really. But the ideal move here is to just run at the buildings and get Mega Creeps without hesitation with a DD rune on the Monkey King. And this is it. LXG. There's a sense of dread filling the air now. Cheese has been dropped. Who's gonna pick it up? That's Mega Creeps. Now up against LXG. Team Buriza ready to deliver the final blow, but LXG not willing to give up without a fight. Here we go, the Doom is available. They're gonna Doom up the Monkey King. They've got the Echo Stop, the Splitter as well. The drops, however, have been thrown. Look at the damage. They're just gonna melt over there. Shady ends up dropping, and so too does Minnow, forcing out the GG. After a grueling 60-minute showdown, Team Buriza will take game 1 of this best of 3 match, leaving LXG to fight from behind. What a game this has been. I hope you guys have enjoyed it as much as I have. It's a refreshing circumstance to see Buriza and LXG playing some really good Dota here. I'll see you guys in game 2. Don't go anywhere, folks. We'll be right back. Quick heads up and a quick shout out once again to the sponsors of this tournament, Neon Gaming Studio for organizing, AFK Gaming, that is us, for jumping in to help them out as casters.
Face to face I found my pain beneath the lies and broken dreams. Lost the love I had in me, it tore me apart, fade away. I felt so lost, but I held on to what I had. For what it's worth, if you're feeling low, just know that you can, yes you can. There's life in love that you hold. Rise above and let it glow. Just know that it's never too late to make a change. Crash and burn, I found myself beneath the emptiness. Wanting more, I let it go. Holding on to love. Breaking through, I feel alive. For once in my life, I'ma live by the want to be all I can. Let the rest just crash and burn. Crash and burn. Oh, 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 let it crash and burn. This one for the person who feels alone. This one for the hero who has no home. This one for the one who lives for hope. Changing better days. Pick your head up, keep on fighting, living, loving. Make your mind up. If you want it, take it, fly away, soaring high above the clouds. Hear the voices calling out. Oh, you want love. Crash and burn, I found myself beneath the emptiness.
Imagination is more important than knowledge. Where knowledge is limited, imagination encircles the world.
That last game because it was a hell of a matchup. Buriza going up against LXG. Did not expect such an explosive fight coming out in game 1. But I gotta say, I am pleasantly surprised. As far as the bans for game 2 go, you've got Buriza on the Radiant starting off with the standard Wisp, Lifesaver and Ember Spirit bans, and LXG this time around they're gonna get rid of the Axe as well, in addition to the Omni Knight and the Sand King. Last time around we did see Buriza opening up with the Warlock, and it looks like it's gonna be LXG that picks it up this time around. Buriza though, it seems like they expected this, just going with the Night Stalker as their opening pick. They're gonna follow it up with a Doom. Now, previously the Dooms did seem to do wonders. I'm not certain if... unfortunately, LXG didn't have as much success with it. Let's see if Buriza can make it work for them instead. LXG, though, responding with a Clockwork pick as their second pickup, thus preventing any Tinker shenanigans from Team Buriza this time around. I say preventing, but it's not exactly the worst thing in the world to still pick up a Tinker when there's a Clockwork in the other team. Worst case, you probably go adjust your item build a little bit and get yourself a 4-stuff to deal with the cogs once the hook shot comes in. Shadow Fiend taken out of the equation this time around. Buriza does not want to deal with a Shadow Fiend that comes with those extra souls courtesy the cogs denies inside the fountain. I'm interested to see if Buriza has a cheese strat planned here. If they're just going to go with the tried and tested once again.
10 seconds remaining.
For those of you that are just tuning in and weren't around for game 1, you're watching a show match between Buriza and LXG. We're now at game 2 of this best of 3. Game 1 was taken by Team Buriza. And if they win this one, it'll be a clean sweep 2-0 here. I'm CloudX. This tournament is organized by Neon Gaming Studio. I'm from AFK Gaming. And big shout out to the sponsors as well. AMD, Circle Gaming, Fastrack, and Samsung QLED. Buriza, gonna go with the Ancient Apparition now. So if at all LXG was thinking of straight up heal bomb lineup, the Warlock plus more.
Dire team pick.
But the lack of straight up raw stuns may be a cause for concern for them, because, well, you've definitely got the silences and the slows coming out from the Nightstalker Doom and the Puck. There's just no way to hold her down in position there and punish her for it.
10 seconds remaining.
Perhaps their last pick in their one position will be someone with a bit of lockdown.
5 seconds remaining.
As for LXG, they're still looking for an offlaner and a one position, unless that's a 3 position clock, in which case they still need a 4. What are the options here? I think the good thing about a Queen of Pain is she's also one of those that likes to go for the Lincoln Sphere towards the mid-game stage. Assuming she's going to go for the Veil, Yules, then a Lincoln Sphere. She's going to have a lot of ways to deal with the control coming out from Buriza.
Radiant team.
And that might come back to hurt them as this game goes on to the late game phase. And now, speaking of things that could go wrong in the late game, LXG will just pick up an insurance policy in the form of this Medusa.
Dire team ban.
How does Buriza respond to this? I mean, they don't really have any mana burn available at this point. Nor do they have any significant source of DPS in the ultra late game stage. LXG, I think they should consider banning out the anti-mage here, because they don't have too much lockdown themselves. When you pick up a 5 position like the Warlock that doesn't have a straight up stun, it's always dangerous going up against heroes with mobility. And yeah, they recognize this and they ban out the anti-mage. Now, one interesting switch that Buriza could make here is they could, if they want to be a little adventurous, they could run this as a 1 position Doom and then pick up an Invoker for that EMP to deal with the Dusa. But I think the safer bet is to simply pick up a Lycan and get yourself those Necronomicons.
5 seconds remaining.
I think the Necronomicons are the better choice here with the Lycan. And again, it's sort of the same logic as the anti-mage, right? A hero with high mobility up against a lineup with not enough lockdown, in my opinion. But I guess the Legion Commander kind of solves that problem. Legion also serves as a deterrent to a possible Phantom Lancer pickup, who could also be devastating versus the Medusa. The overwhelming odds is a fantastic way to deal with the Legions, especially in the mid-game stage, early to mid-game stage rather.
10 seconds remaining.
I gotta say, I like LXG's lineup. They've got this 4 versus 5 snowball potential in the mid-game, and then they've got an endurance policy with the Medusa in the late-game stage. While Buriza just seems like this run-at-you sort of early-game lineup right now. They need something to go into the late-game stage, and their one position needs to be something tanky. Lifestealer is an option. Never mind, Lifestealer has been banned, not an option. For me, it boils down to either the Phantom Lancer with the Diffusal Blade or the Lycan with Necrobooks at this point. And I'm personally a bigger fan of the Lycan.
Choose your hero.
All that. Okay. Okay then. I don't know. I'm not such a fan, honestly. I would have preferred to see the Lycan. Again, where's the lockdown? You're just relying on slows at this point in the game, and BKBs are just going to be so valuable for Team LXG. I don't see Buriza surviving this unless they get a very explosive mid game, and that's hard versus a Warlock Queen and a Clockwork, honestly. We'll have to wait and watch if Buriza made the right choice here. Can Buriza clean it up 2-0, or are we going to see this series going to a game 3? My money, it's on a game 3 here. If I had to predict, I'd probably say it was LXG that's going to take this one and we'll be going to a game 3, but let's see. I also thought that about game 1. I thought LXG was going to take game 1, but Buriza have proven me wrong. Kudos to them, and let's see if they can do it once again. A quick introduction to start things off. You've got Team Buriza on the Radiant side this time around, with Dope handling that Ancient Apparition. Double A, he's going to be playing that Spectre. Unfortunately, their lobby names aren't showing up over here, so it's a little confusing. Night Stalker is going to be in the hands of Pointless Existence. Doom's going to be played by Agori, and that'll leave Puck in the hands of QWERTY. We did see an impressive Tinker performance from him in game 1. Let's see if he can pull off something miraculous here on his Puck as well. On the other side, you've got LXG. Mino's going to be playing the Medusa on the middle lane. We saw him in the Phantom Lancer in the previous one. That means Queen of Pain, Kaneki, going to be playing on the off lane. Interesting choices here with Shady going top on the Legion Commander. That puts Warlock in the hands of Parasite and Clockwork in the hands of Jiren, but are they running an offensive tri-lane here, or is this just going to be a dual lane with Kaneki and Jiren? Because they're going to leave LC solo versus a Doom and a Night Stalker. I think the Night Stalker can just get up and leave this lane in that case. But then again, I think Shady will do okay. Yeah, he's going to do okay, right? I believe Press the Attack does dispel the Infernal Blade debuff, so if Agori does come running at it with it, he can simply heal up once again in man fight. It also does help that Night Stalker's Void no longer applies the mini stun during the day. I believe that was added in the latest patch. Mino got a little bit of backup coming in from his courier, but at the same time Puck's got backup coming in from his Night Stalker. Unfortunately for QWERTY, the block was in favor of Mino, and he's sitting comfortably upon his high ground. Ideally, Puck should win this lane. I don't see Puck really being bothered by those Mystic Snake spans. He should be able to dodge it pretty much every time. But yeah, now that Mino's gone down the slope, he's going to take a little bit of a beating here from the Night Stalker. The objective clearly isn't to kill him, it's just to zone him out and keep him at bay. But now they're thinking like, looking like they want to go in here. They've done a fair bit of damage upon him. But look at the creep wave. QWERTY has to be careful. Oh man, Mino even gets the deny on the range creep. This is bad. QWERTY's just getting psychologically harassed here in the lane. It's odd that Mino's getting so many denies, considering his base damage is significantly lower than that of the Puck. I also believe Puck has the better attack animation and the lower cast point, base attack time, so it's unlikely that he should be going down like this. But Jiren coming in from the side now, is keeping the Night Stalker at bay himself. This bottom lane is working for LXG. The Queen of Pains managed to push off the Spectre from the lane, leaving her at just 2 last hits, while Kaneki is up to a good 7 last hits of his own. Jiren drawing the aggro upon him, preventing stacks on the small camp there from Dope. Good plays coming out from LXG. QWERTY making some mistakes there. He even chose not to jump up there, which means he's not going to get that regen rune. But he had to, because then he was going to miss out on a whole bunch of creeps under his tower. Bottom. There's a skirmish breaking out here. They have the Spectral Dagger available now, but Jiren has got the Shadow Word heal upon him. Is he gonna go down? They're gonna get one more hit, but here comes the Queen of Pain. They got the Fatal Bonds off as well. This is gonna hurt. Jiren still alive and making a run for it. Pointless existence. In 4 seconds, he's gonna have another Void available. But look at this, Spectre. Oh no, she's gonna die from the Fatal Bonds, isn't she? One more hit, and yep, Kaneki gets the kill with that Shadow Strike. LXG now jumping in, they're gonna get a kill on Pointless Existence as well, as Kaneki will back up and take the double kill. This offensive tri-lane, it's working wonders for LXG. And it doesn't look like the top lane is being deterred either, as Shady is out CSing and out harassing Agori quite hard. At this point, it feels like every lane except the middle lane seems to be going in favor of LXG. Middle also seems to be going fairly even though. QWERTY's sitting at a decent 14 CS, so he's not doing too badly at all. The tables have been turned. In game 1 it was Buriza that got off to a flying start, and in game 2 it's LXG that's taken the lead early on. QWERTY. Oh no, he's got no way out of here. He's gotta have to be careful, but Minnow ran out of mana while he walked up the slope with the mana shield activated, and that means he can't drop the Mystic Snake for a potential kill. He's got a salve coming out to him. Oh, QWERTY actually going for the kill here. Gets that orb off, doesn't jaunt to it though. Dodges the hit from the tower and gets back in. Got a salve coming out of his own, I would assume.
Radiant are scanning.
Meanwhile, top lane. There it is. Press the attack. Every single time he drops the Infernal Blade, he's just going to get taken out. Look at this though. Night Stalker. I believe he cancelled the salve on Minnow. This will be a base trip, if not a death upon him. He's got another Void, gets it off and gets the hit. That's the death on Minnow. And look at this. Pointless Existence is even going to make it out. So a death on the Medusa, a wasted salve, rotations from both the Clockwork and the Warlock, and a quick clean escape from the Night Stalker. That's just perfect for Team Buriza. If you can't win the bottom, might as well go cause chaos on another lane, and that's a philosophy that seems to be working for the Night Stalker this game. Doom though, not having a good time at all. Shady out CSing the Doom by quite a margin. They're both gonna pop their shrines and come back to the lane. At bottom, they've gone in here. Kaneki even blinking forward. That's just a level 1 Scream of Pain though. That's not gonna do enough damage. Look at this though. Night Stalker's coming in. They've got the dagger off as well. Blink's available in 6 seconds, and the cold feet have been dropped down upon him. No more mana available for the Night Stalker, but the cold feet have proc. Queen of Pain has the blink available. Blinks in fact, going for the kill. What were you thinking, Kaneki? That was just way too greedy, my friend. He ends up going down, and now the dagger gets dropped upon Jiren as well. LXG. Oh no, that's just all sorts of wrong, because they were having an amazing time on this bottom lane. Queen of Pain was out CSing the Spectre by a long shot, and now she goes and throws away a kill in the hands of that Ancient Apparition. That's not what should be happening, especially when you've got walls placed down to give you an additional advantage in the lane that was already going your way. He's just really overestimating the damage that this level 1 Scream of Pain does. QWERTY now started to pull ahead in terms of CS as well on this middle lane, sitting at 33. But top, things could start to get dangerous here for Shady, because the Doom is actually online now. So one rotation could be his death. QWERTY, you can see him waiting on the middle lane, waiting, trying to make something happen. Attention goes towards the top lane with the Night Stalkers now rotated in as well. Shady knows that something is off here. Agori walking out forward. There's even an observer ward placed down now, so they should see Shady. See him in the lane. Do they want to commit here is the question. Agori need to go forward. Pointless Existence. He may have been spotted here. They're going to go in soon enough. And yep, Shady, he's just walked out of it. But Agori was out of place there. The body blocks are there. The Dooms come out. They have another slow in just a little bit of time. 2 TPs coming out. They get the Infernal Blade off. They need one more Void if they want to guarantee this kill. And the Void is there. But with the Shadow Word heal, they might just be able to keep him alive. And he's healing through the Doom now. 2 rotations forced out there. And the Doom expended as well as Shady. He will survive. Now this means that Queen of Pain's been left to her own devices on the bottom lane now. Unfortunately, this does boil back to what we discussed at the start of the game. The absence of stuns on the side of pretty much everyone on the side of Team Buriza is going to be painful versus that Queen of Pain. Jiren, he has the cogs available and there's no... Okay, that was odd. There was no illusory orb available. QWERTY almost ends up going down there, but he does have the salve, turns around, drops the Dream Coil as well. Has another orb available, and with the slow coming out, they will get the kill. Once again, pointless existence and his rotations prove to be successful. Spock ends up getting a freebie. Minnow is preparing to farm the neutrals later on, getting those stacks prepped in the jungle as well. While now picking up a DD rune. Gonna do some work on QWERTY as well. Meanwhile, at bottom, consistent shadow strike pressure being applied on the Spectre. Spectre is just not getting any farm in this lane. He's sitting at 24 CS. And even has the death to his name. Jiren coming in here on the side. Once again, Queen of Pain farming quite comfortably. Top lane looking shady. Thinking of going in here. He gets that infernal blade tagged in the face, but almost got the duel off there. I think if he gets a duel, he gets the kill. No Scorch Earth available. And unfortunately for the Doom, there's no TPs coming out. He gets another stun, another infernal blade. What are you doing, Agori? No more mana for Shady. Turns around, finally gets the duel up, but the puck was there. It was a bait, but the bait, it wasn't enough. It looks like they will end up getting the kill, and Shady's gonna TP out. So too is Parasite. QWERTY, nothing that he can do here. The intention was not bad, but I think he should have known that he just wasn't tanky enough to survive that. Especially without the Scorched Earth.
Radiant are scanning. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Vector's got to be careful here. Kaneki, you could see him pump faking a blink in there. The rocket flare did connect. They have enough to finish him off there. Dagger dropped preemptively. Just keeping Kaneki at bay. Sending him back for now. Got a smoke rotation coming out. Remember, they have a Doom available on Agori, and he's here towards the bottom lane. QWERTY's up top to secure the bounty runes. Looking for an opportunity. The smoke has been broken. Jiren has that call coming out. Void he's just unable to cast it there. The cast point on the Void too long, but the Doom comes out. The Queen of Pain was the target they were going for, and they get her first. And now they're going to turn their attention towards Jiren. Unfortunately, Fatal Bonds will secure the kill upon the Night Stalker. But it doesn't matter. Agori's rotation is successful. He gets a double kill. Walks away. Once again, they've opened up time and space for the Spectre. Fortunately, Spectre's got no HP to work with and no Shrine for another 38 seconds. Top lane looking. Shady's almost got his Blink Dagger finished up. He's making some good progress here as an off-lane Legion commander. While on the middle lane, Medusa farms undeterred as well, farming in the jungle the stacks that she's prepped. Puck. Looks like the Veil is nearly complete for him. While Minnow's making progress towards the Mask of Madness. Again, pressure being applied on that tier 1 at the middle lane with the siege creep coming out. This tower, it's not long for life anymore. Shady's got a lot of protection for him here. He's even got the Dire Observer ward placed down to watch for these rotations from heroes like the Doom and the Puck. He should see them as soon as they walk into the lane, and that means that Shady's not going to die before his Blink Dagger's online. While bottom lane, again, Spectre just receiving so much pressure here. Jiren running at him under the tower. Spectre's just going to have to back away, probably dagger through the trees and make her escape as well. There's the dagger, but there's the drop as well. The jump forward from the Queen of Pain, the Sonic Wave expended and everything but the kitchen sink thrown to kill the Spectre. You can see him attempting a haunt out there, but just a tad bit too slow there. Invis on the Puck. Fortunately, it's not going to be able to go for a kill just yet. Lots of pings coming out towards the tier 1 tower on the top lane. But you've got to remember, Shady's got that Blink Dagger ready to go.
Dire's top tower is under
With a couple of
attack.
TPs in, they could thwart this push quite efficiently. Here's the TPs coming out, Jiren first and then the Philippine next. There's the Scorched Earth pop by Agori. He's out here by his lonesome. The duel is there. Do they have enough burst damage to bring him down? Philippine getting a range, gets the scream, but can't finish the job. Agori popping the drums, making a run for it, but won't run too far. Elsewhere, however, they did end up bringing down the Medusa, and that's the more important kill here. With the Ice Blast being expended, they score the
Dire's
kill.
middle tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified.
Team Buriza, so far, unable to recover from that net worth deficit. It's about a 3,000 net worth lead in favor of LXG. LXG is about to lose the tier 1 tower in the middle lane, and this opens up a lot more space for the Night Stalker to go ganking.
Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Meanwhile, Spectre struggling to get any sort of farm here on this bottom lane. She's finally been given some space, but as I say that, you've got rotations coming through almost immediately. She cannot be left alone here. She's gonna die. LC could basically solo kill her at this point. I mean, Warlock's making his way in there. And Shady, he spotted out that the Spectre's already used that dagger. Here we go. There's the overwhelming rods. It completely rips, however. And now this could be trouble. There's the duel coming out. The rocket flare is through as well. It's not going to be a dual kill. The Haunt is there and the escape as well. Where is he gone? The Spectre. He's moved into the jungle. He's trying to make a break for his Jiren. No! He misses on the hook shot there on the Spectre. And Spectre will survive. While elsewhere, Kaneki ends up going down. Pointless existence. Now picks up a haste rune and he's giving chase. He sees the Warlock. The easy target, considers going for him, has the void, drops it down. There's no TP available for Parasite, so this could be troublesome for him. Silence coming out onto Shady as well. Who's he going to focus on? The Cogs though, beautifully placed there by Jiren, but they've managed to hold him in position. Cold Feet, an ensnare, and a Dream Call for good measure. A lot thrown to bring down the clockwork there, and he does end up going down. Now Shady's in trouble as well. Big overwhelming odds upon the Fatal Bonds, but Shady will not survive. He's going to end up dropping there, while Agori is still giving pace forward. Gets the Infernal Blade hit off. Kaneki, remember, he can drop a big Sonic Wave with the Fatal Bonds there, get some work done, but it looks like the fight's gonna fizzle out, with LXG losing 2, and unfortunately for LXG, Buriza lose nothing. Except the tier 1 tower at the middle lane, which Minnow is more than happy to clean up on. All said and done, the net worth graph still in favor of LXG, with Medusa leading the charge, followed only by the Queen of Pain.
Radiant are scanning.
Dope. He's going for the Force Staff as his first item of choice, and I can say categorically that I agree with it. Against the Clockwork, you want to have that Force Staff to bail yourself and your allies out of sticky situations. I'm going to consider getting a Yules on this puck early as well. Looks like he's going to get the Blink Dagger first, and then go for the Yules. But look at this, Clockwork is going in balls deep upon the Spectre. An Ice Blast will connect, and with the puck in the vicinity, they're probably going to get this kill on Jiren. But they don't have mana. QWERTY was out of mana. He was really low on mana when he came to that fight.
Fit for a queen.
Farm progression looking at Minnow. Looks like he has the money for his Dragon Lance online now. And while he continues to farm, LXG are going to pop a smoke and look to make a play. Scorching pings coming out of the bottom lane, where the Spectre is just rushing a Blade Bill. I am probably not a fan of that. I have mixed emotions about the Blade Mill this game on the Spectre. Because on one hand, they don't really have any source of physical damage apart from the Spec. But on the other, getting an early Radiance is just completely off the cards. Press the attack being dropped there. There's the drop coming out as well. They've got the Gold Feet and it will proc on the Legion Command, but they're not going to get the Dream kill either. Agori ends up dropping. The Dream Call is there with the Ice Blast. They end up getting 1 kill. Make that 2. A Shady will drop as well. Now Spectre has entered the fray. There's a dagger available in 4 seconds, but with the Medusa in the vicinity, it's probably in their best interest to stay a bit back. Minnow getting that mana back, but Jiren tagged inside his own cogs and taken down. Once again, Buriza comes out on top in that skirmish, walks away with a bit of money and expends just the life of their doom. And remember, they still have the Doom available if they want to fight shortly after. While on the other side, the Chaotic offering is down for a good 130 seconds.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
This is also going to be another tier 1 tower taken down by Team Buriza. And, you know, we talked about them needing an explosive mid-game. This is it. This is exactly what they needed. 2 towers taken down, the access paths into the jungle now opened up. Almost nighttime once again. Just a couple of minutes to go before nighttime kicks in, and it's probably when we're going to see a smoke being popped on the side of Team Buriza. Although they do have a smoke upon them, and it looks like they're just sticking by their Spectre for now. They know that the drop is down, so probably want to pop a smoke, but never mind. I think QWERTY's a bit too low on mana and needs to go back to base. Nope. They're going to pop the smoke nonetheless. He called out a clarity potion to deal with that problem. Good call. Drops down for 60 seconds. Might as well take a fight now. They see the warlock. No drop. Committing heavily, but the hook shot comes in from downtown. They've got into with the confidence. View is there as well. There's the ice blast. Not coming through just yet. Finally going to be sent out there. But it's already a clockwork that's down. And it's going to be the Legion commander that follows him to the grave. While the Doom is there, the cold feet as well. The Shrine is allowing Kaneki to regen up a little bit, but it's not nearly enough. With the Queen of Pain down, they're going to give chase upon Parasite. The Infernal Blade tag is there. And it looks like Parasite will end up going down too. It's going to take a while longer than they anticipated, and possibly another Infernal Blade hit, but he will get the kill nonetheless. Now Minnow is coming in to do whatever little damage he can, but unfortunately, it's just not strong enough. Kind of odd that Minnow didn't TP into the Shrine there to help with the fight. I think he's packing enough of a punch now, and the Stone Gaze would have been fairly useful there as well. Instead, he chose to continue flash farming, as he does keep his net above the net worth charts with 9.2k net worth in the bag. Spectre. Still indecisive about the items by the looks of it. I mean, she's got the Blade queued up, but it seems like she's now saving up the money for the Radiance as well. Night Stalker. She's going on a bounty rune mission. He's gonna pick up the bounty rune here conveniently. That'll now be 4 bounty runes going over towards Buriza as well. This is some good Dota they're playing. Their supports are always keeping tabs of what to do and when. And yeah, I agree. I think it's totally worth it to expend the darkness to snag a bounty rune there. Although, he might have just popped the darkness to transition into the natural night. I'm not sure of the exact timing that he popped it at. But if he popped it before the 20-minute mark, it would have been very efficient. QWERTY could be in trouble here. Blinks out immediately. Almost getting caught there. And with the way Kaneki's moving, it's fairly obvious that a gank is imminent upon this puck. Doesn't have a TP scroll though. He's got his teammates TPing in to back him up. Night Stalker's walking in as well with an arcane rune upon him. QWERTY, he sees Shady, or does he? Yep, they see him. They've got the Dream Call cancelling the TP. And this time the Spectre has joined the fray as well. An Ice Blast for good measure, and Shady goes down. Buriza trying to set up for a gank, but ending up on the receiving end once again. However, it's all good as long as Medusa continues to farm like this. She's getting to a point where, honestly, there's not going to be much of a response. But at the same time, we've also got to worry about the Radiant Spectre. But as I say that, they find another one. This time it's the Warlock that hits the deck. Jiren, he's been spotted out as well, but they don't really have the Dream Call, so committing may not be the best idea. Medusa consistently keeping her head above the net worth charts here. A 10k net worth. She's making progress towards what I can only assume is a Lincoln Sphere. I think Buriza's gonna have to do more than just finding pickups and supports like this. But the game plan from them seems to be to just continuously farm and make progress towards that Radiance. Spectre does have the money for that Sacred Relic now. That's definitely a milestone here for Team Buriza. But they need a little longer to get the Radiance online. And for that, Agori and Co need to go making space. But at the same time, LXG has got wind of what's going on here, and they're just playing it safe on the middle lane. QWERTY spots out Minnow there on the middle lane and chooses not to commit. You can see LXG just being inefficient now, though. They're just grouping up as 5, hoping to try and find some sort of counterplay, but Buriza are unlikely to play so aggressively. Like we said, their objective is to create space for the Spectre, not to go in and die as 4. Agori, though, needs to be careful as Invis is going to wear off. And Parasite does have the high ground advantage, but it is nighttime, so I don't think he got spotted there. Lincoln's now complete for Minnow. He can finally start thinking about some damage items. Perhaps he gets a butterfly now. Or never mind, he's just gonna go Scotty. Wants to be the frontline tank by the looks of it. Kaneki walks in, that's the smoke. The blink out though! Agori with the quick reflexes, dodging a 5-man smoke gang deep inside the Radiant jungle. That's such a valuable move coming out from man. This guy is just impressive as all hell. I'm sorry if I sound like I'm gushing, but even his acts in the previous game was just fantastic. Good stuff.
Radiant are scanning.
I mean, that was without ward vision as well on the high ground, if I'm not wrong. That's a Radiant Observer, a Dire Observer ward up there. Good stuff. There it is, a much needed space for Spectre to continuously make progress to that Radiance, but is it enough? Is the Radiance really going to do that much this game? I mean, you've got a Yules on the Queen of Pain to dodge some of that damage. Clockwork's just naturally tanky. Warlock is probably the only one that's going to be most bothered by that Radiance pickup, honestly, but is that really worth it? I don't know. I feel like this is a game for a Diffusal Blade Spectre. Diffusal Manta. And just stare into the mana shield of the Medusa. Once again, darkness has been popped, the nighttime has been extended, and Puck, the verge of being ganked here. There was a Dire Observer watching him. He takes the bounty and backs away, though. Again, the timing is just a little bit off here from LXG. That's 4 more bounty runes over towards Buriza. And while the Medusa may be on top of net worth charts, it is still Buriza that has the overall net worth and EXP lead. It's only a 2,000 lead, but they're still keeping ahead. And there it is. Radiance is online. Not bad. A 25-minute Radiance when she was up against an aggressive tri-lane of a Queen of Pain with a Queen of Pain as a core in it. That's not bad at all, honestly.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
We're going to trade tier 1 for tier 1. Radiant losing the most inconsequential tier 1 in the top lane, while Dire loses a slightly more valuable one. But at the same time, LXG push a lot faster, and with that, they're going to push through to the tier 2.
Radiant structures are fortified.
They're trying to push 2 lanes at the same time. I mean, they've pressured out the mid tier 2 as well. And I think if LXG loses the mid tier 2 for a tier 2 on the top lane, it suddenly becomes worth it for Buriza again. Loads of fortifications dropped there. Medusa TP's out towards the middle lane and stops that tower from going down, but Spectre and Doom continue to apply pressure on the tier 2 at bottom. This time around, it looks like they're ready to fight. The hook shot is there. The Doom gets caught. Remember, the Spectre did TP out, but she does have the horn to come back in if she chooses to. Doom has his ult available. He's going to make a run for it. They're going to drop down. The Dream Call there. The Dream Call snaps. The Ice Blast, a complete whip there. But they end up bringing Conjure in. Here comes the Medusa, popping that Storm Gaze, walks right into the middle of the fight. And Spectre, seeing as to what just happened, decided not to haunt in at all. Now, they've got to make their retreat here. It's going to be a return kill coming out from Shady. They'll bring down the Legion Command. Rather, they're going to bring down the Ancient Apparition, giving LC a double. Now, Puck will manage to get away. As the dust settles, looks like LXG comes out on top there. Bring themselves quick double kill for Minnow on the Medusa. And a dual victory for the LC. Early gem on the Night Stalker. Map control seems to be the name of the game here. But again, we saw it in action, right? The Radiant's just not doing enough. Miller just walks in with the Stone Gaze, getting rid of the illusions immediately, and now Kaneki is going to work on... oh god, he just used his Euls offensively, and that means he's gonna die. That was painful to watch. Spectre making a run for it. Shady coming in, wants that duel, but settles for the overwhelming odds, and now he's got a duel that he can put to use versus the Night Stalker. Here comes the Ice Blast, and here comes the Doom. He's got himself some... well, he's got a fair bit of damage that he can dish out, and he does end up getting one kill. Now they're going in for Parasite as well. It's daytime once again, but doesn't really matter. Pointless Existence will get that kill. Or elsewhere, Jiren is making a run for it, but QWERTY has something to say about this. Might even want to drop a Dream Call just for the match. Oh, what the hell was that? That could have been a lot more efficient, but they get the kill nonetheless. And they back away. And as the dust settles once again, you've got 4 down on the side of LXG for the price of a Spectre on the side of Buriza. Not the best trade if you ask me, if you're in LXG's shoes. But again, this is all without the Medusa, who's just been free farming. She's got a Skadi now. She's a good 7,500 net worth ahead of the Spectre. There's just no killing her at this point. Honestly, how do you deal with this Medusa anymore?
Double damage.
And it's up.
Corey, he's got himself that Crimson Guard, so at least that's gonna stem the bleeding when the Medusa goes to work upon them. But we are seeing a smoke movement now coming out from LXG. They're walking into the high ground. This could be troublesome. Nice talk to the Buriza. Instantly silences him up. There's the Haunt coming out with a Dream Coil upon 3. The Ice Blast is there as well. And I talked about how the Medusa was going to go down. This is it. But Kaneki comes in with a return play, gets the Sonic Wave off on a couple of heroes. But there's no drop, there's no duel, and there's only a Queen of Pain left to her own devices. The silence comes through. Agori gets a triple. And they'll all make it back in time for dinner at the shrine. Beautiful stuff coming out from Buriza, instantly recognizing that that fight was one that they should take. The silence on Shady prevents the duel, and the coil comes out really without hesitation. Good stuff from them. They won that fight convincingly, and how. It's gonna give Spectre another shot in the arm. She's gonna walk back into the next fight with a new item, which should be the Mantis style. And also, let's not forget, she's making progress towards that level 25. Crucial decision to be made here. But as I say that, little and Shady once again ends up going down, and it comes with a freebie in the form of the Warlock. LXG, what are you doing, guys? That's 2 consecutive lost team fights, all while the Medusa was respawning. They get a tier 2 tower on the back of that on the middle lane, and Spectre will continue to push the tier 2 on the bottom. Things are slowly spiraling out of hand here for LXG, while Buriza, they've taken a solid grasp on this game. It's really a similar story to what happened in game 1. The mid game, it started to sort of fall off versus Buriza, but the late game, it's just coming out all guns blazing once again. Spectre with a now completed Manta style. Got that Diffusal Blade queued up next, and I believe that's the right item choice here. Pointless Existence. He still has the gem that he's holding on to. They've also got the Spirit Vessel, which, by the way, is their response to the Medusa. And all the HP that she's packing. Once that Aghanim Scepter is online, they're going to have a significant vision advantage as well. Things are only starting to look harder and harder here for LXG. Can they pull off a miracle here, or are Buriza going to be too much for them to stomach in 2 consecutive games? But at the crack of dawn, Buriza will once again retreat to their own side of the jungle and continue farming.
Invisibility.
Well, Spectre looks like she's prepped and ready to go once again.
are scanning.
I mean, it's got to be so difficult when you're LXG and then you look at what Buriza is packing after 2 successful team fights that they've taken against you as well. It's got to be hard to remain an optimist about this game, but they simply have to. There's no choice. If they're thinking of victory, they've got to find a way back in. All said and done, there's still a very decent shot here for LXG. They just cannot afford to get caught with their pants down like that again. If the Medusa does get time to stand back and hit, there's that potential for some significant combo damage coming out with the Fatal Bonds. And that's exactly what they should be playing for. But look at this. Darkness has been popped, a smoke has been utilized, and once again you can see Buriza commandeering the high ground next to the shrine. Jiren is walking forward, so to his Kaneki. There's the dude. Not a moment's hesitation once again. Look at where the puck has ended up as well. A wasteful game call, honestly, if you ask me. Just on Jiren, but the Ice Blast has tagged the backlights. The Stone Gaze has sort of been expended. The Yule's used as well. Puck ends up surviving, even uses the phase shift for good measure, and now they're going back in once again. The drop comes out, the Fatal Bonds are there as well, and Mino, he has a good angle to start running away from. Agori, he's taken a beating, and so too is the Spectre, who pops the Madness out, but with the Spirit Vessel on Jiren and the Radiance Ball doing some work, they might just get the return kill with the illusory of indeed they will. But Spectre, now dueled and brought down. Shady almost ends up dropping, but they get the big kill, which is the Spectre, and Medusa stays alive through it all. There's that optimism that they needed. They end up getting the Spectre kill. Well, they did end up losing a couple of gears there. They thwarted the high ground attempt. I feel like that fight would have gone very differently had QWERTY dropped a better dream call there. He tagged only a Clockwork who was inside his own cogs, and the absence of control on the Medusa meant that she could just walk away scot-free. And you gotta remember, all of that was without the Queen of Pain in the fight. She was doomed and deleted right from the get-go. "34 minutes in, we still don't have a clear victor this game. The biggest problem for Buriza is that they've put all their eggs into the Spectre basket, but I feel like QWERTY's done a smart thing here, getting himself the maxed out Dagon. This is a force to be reckoned with as well now. The amount of burst damage he's packing, especially when it's in synergy with this Ice Blast from the Ancient Passion, who, by the way, has almost got himself an Axe as well. Again, you look away for a moment and they go and find another pick-off. Aghanim Scepter, Vision coming out there. QWERTY, there's the Ice Blast coming out in his favor. Silence pop, phase shift as well. Can he make a break for it here? Has the blink and gets away. Katie. Chase was futile, unfortunately. I'd like to see a Lincoln Sphere coming out from QWERTY next, though. This is very dangerous. It's daytime. No darkness available for a bit. And they're not the best lineup at taking Rush, really. Instead, they see Minnow on the middle end and they jump it upon him. They've got the Lincoln Sphere. Doom available as well. They will drop it upon him. Dream falls there. The Ice Blast. It did not connect. Perhaps if it connected, this would have been a much easier kill. And now they've got the heals coming out as well. Infernal Blade to follow it up. Where's the damage? They're just throwing everything at him, but they can't finish off the Medusa. She's soaked up damage like a sponge, and she's managed to turn around now. Spectre, no haunt available for 99 seconds, but she's coming to the fray with her own body thrown at the heroes. They end up getting just a Warlock after all of that. Dope's got to be a bit more judicious about his Ice Blasts. He has to connect them on the Medusa. But they're back in the pit now. Spectre with a regen rune picked up as well, but Clockwork spotting out the shenanigans. Warlock's got the drop available as well, but he's got no TP for 20 seconds. Rosh is dropping. But darkness? Okay, never mind. It's still nighttime. They have the flying vision. They're gonna see the sentry coming in here. Shady walking through the jump upon him. They're gonna go straight for the kill. He's popped his blade mill and they don't really care. But Dope with another Rift Ice Blast. This means that they probably can't continue chasing him. You know, no stone gaze for 10 seconds, but he's just manning up and fighting his way through this. Buriza, are they making a mistake here? And a costly one at that. Manta Illusion spawned out here, being sent into the fight. They've already brought down the Doom, and now they're going to throw down the dagger. Jiren in trouble, getting pincer trapped here. Has the Spirit Vessel thrown upon him, but he pops a blade one of his own. But Spectre, ready to give chase, goes in, isolates the Clockwork, and they bring him down. Elsewhere, Minnow coming in here. Looks like they're gonna find the freebie on the Night Stalker. He's flying above the trees but can't get far enough away. And he will end up going down. Well, Spectre, she's gonna have to make a run for it herself. As the TP scroll if she wants to bounce, but the fight's not over, they're still going in. Queen of Pain with the defensive Yules here, but Cruelty ends up getting the kill and ends up backing off. This time around, though, they did connect with the Ice Blast, but they also connected with the drop as well as the Stone Gaze. Cruelty in a lot of trouble, will end up going down, while Medusa going to work on the Spectre as well. Spectre, looks like he's, or rather Medusa, he's changed targets. Dope should be the one going down, but there's the Haunt going down, and now they have nothing to work with. Spectre back in for round 2. Parasite in a world of trouble, ends up going down. Mamido, he's just fighting his way through. This Spectre doesn't really give a damn. But they're kiting around Minnow perfectly, but it's too little too late. Clockwork enters the fray, has the hook shot, spots out the Spec, but doesn't connect. Minnow gets the kill nonetheless. All this while a massive creep wave decided it's time to rat. Buriza having some real issues dealing with this Medusa. I wonder if that was an Aghanim's Ice Blast though. There's the Ice Blast thrown into the pit. The Doom goes in. They drop the Doom. The Ice Blast did connect this time on the Medusa. Is it enough to finish her off? That's a lot of damage over time working upon her. She's been needed as well, but they're trying everything to keep her alive, including the press the attack. They give us a bonus attack speed. Doom just refuses to die. The Lincoln Sphere trigger, the Ice Blast shatter, it's not enough. She ends up surviving once again through all of it. As Agori will walk away with his tail tucked between his legs. LXG, they're gonna get this Aegis. The question is, can the Night Stalker seal it? He's going in, but he's been healed up. They've got the Ice Blast coming in. Shady could be going down here. He has the Ice Blast. He pop upon him, but no Spirit Vessel charges available to work with. They've gone in. Agori, he's blinked into this fight. They've taken down the Aegis, but Minnow, remember, he's still alive through all of this, and Dope is going to end up going down. Quirty, what are you doing, man? Get the hell out of here. This is not a fight that Buriza can take. Or is it? Because the Haunt has come out, but again, they're just going to go in for a Clockwork. Haunt expended for a clock, but they do end up getting... Okay, never mind. Triple kill. Casual triple kill there from one Spectre Haunt. Legion goes down to the Illusion, and then Spectre, Reality is back right next to the Warlock. All said and done. Even though they got the Roshan and the Aegis was taken away, and Spectre comes back with a triple kill.
A prize.
Once again, signs of revival coming out here from Team Buriza. LXG. They've accepted their fate of defending their high ground now. Eyes on the prize here for Team Buriza. They've gone in and triggered the Lincoln Sphere with a mana burn creep. The Doom has rightfully stolen. Good decisions coming out here. They're gonna get a halberd upon the Night Stalker. Any and all ways to control both the Legion Commander and the Medusa. Most appreciated here by his teammates. Meanwhile, Spectre is chosen to simply tank up, getting the Heart up next. Raw HP and HP regeneration seems to be the name of the game here for her. Although it is going to buff up her illusions, the Stone Gaze can make quick work of them. Probably not a good idea to keep the Reaver in your backpack though. You want to swap out your TP for it. Queen of Pain, building up towards the Shiver's Guard. Again, another way to deal with his Haunt illusions. Night Stalker making a run for it towards this bottom lane. Kaneki's got a lot of ways to survive here. One of the biggest causes for concern though is this Ice Blast with the Aghanims upgrade. When Dope gets that level 3 Ice Blast, he's still going to be a force to be reckoned with. And I'd also expect him to get the 4% Ice Blast kill threshold at level 25, if he ever gets there, that is. Still plenty of ways for this supposed to be useful on the side of Team Buriza here. As for the Warlock, unfortunately, it looks like he's not making progress towards an Aghanim Scepter at all. In fact, he's choosing to pick up a Ghost Scepter for himself instead. That's just an invitation, though, for QWERTY to blow him up. QWERTY also picked up the GPM talent, by the way, so scaling is not going to be an issue, to say the least, here for them. The longer this game goes, the more that net worth lead is going to get extended on account of that GPM talent, and it's going to get harder and harder for Minnow to carry his team here. But he does have the butterfly now. The evasion is going to help him out for a little longer. Wonder if we're going to see an MKB now coming out for the Spectre. She's chosen not to queue it up. She's got a Skadi and a butterfly of her own queued up. But that would imply that she's going to have to get rid of her power treads and have no boots. Which is alright, to be honest. QWERTY pushing through the middle lane a little bit. Well, darkness has now been expended. Looks like they're ready to go high ground here. But pushing into a Medusa with no prior preparation is definitely not a good idea. Puck's not even in the vicinity, so I don't even know why Buriza is still hanging about here. Night Stalker. He gets tagged by a Rocket Flare. This could be devastating. They're now getting momentum on all three lanes with QWERTY pushing out the bottom lane, but Shady is ready to get this duel off. QWERTY's going to jump away towards the left though. Just a tad bit too late there from Shady. But I don't think he would have got the kill even if he did commit there, so I guess there was really no kill to be had anyway. Look at this though. Pointless Existence is inside the base already. He's even dropped down this observer ward behind enemy lines. This is just the perfect prep for a high ground breach. They've got a good 3.5 minutes till the nighttime kicks in. The nighttime wears off as well, so with Spectre pushing bottom with a DD rune at that, there's no better time for them to go. They just need to find an opening here. Oh, here we go. The Doom connects. They've got the Ice Blast as well. The drop does come out, but the Haunt and the Spectre illusion will make quick work of the backlines. Warlock is already dead, and Minnow will drop next. He's got a buyback available, but is it going to be enough? Because now you've got the Legion Commander dropping as well. 3 buybacks come straight off the bat here from LXG, and now they're trying to fight their way through this. There's the Skadi. Going to work, Minnow doing what he can, gets the Stone Gaze off, and it looks like Spectre is in a world of trouble. No heart will help us survive this. The gem has been dropped behind as well, and LXG will mount a defense, killing 4 heroes off as they look for a fifth. QWERTY going for the kill here, pops everything including a Yule Scepter upon that Clockwork, but he needs to make a break for it. He's getting greedy if he goes back for this kill. A costly defense from LXG, but a successful one at that. This game is far from over yet, ladies and gentlemen. Prepare yourselves for a long and uphill climb now as Team Buriza tries to find another opportunity like that. That was honestly a golden opportunity. They did make the most of it, but unfortunately, the buybacks just proved too overwhelming there. Ice Blast thrown out here upon the middle lane. Kaneki tagged by it as well. QWERTY unfortunately not getting in range there for the Dream Coil in time. He's still chasing. He has the Dream Coil, doesn't drop it as Kaneki will blink towards the north. Behind, however, you can see Minnow creeping upon him. I think it's time for QWERTY to beat a hasty retreat. The fact that the gem has changed hands as well also helps LXG's cause. With the Warlock holding on to the gem, they should be able to regain some map control. But speaking of control, they've also managed to pick up an F-blade now on QWERTY, so that's another way to deal with the Medusa. Not to mention another way to blow up the Warlock.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
QWERTY. Again, just playing it safe, blinking out and jaunting to the side. Might want to consider going in on him. They know that there's no... Well, they know that they're down for another 20 seconds, so this is an opportunity. That tier 2 tower just melts at the hands of Minnow, who's now finished up an MKB as well. So he's ditched the Mask of Madness, picks up the MKB, and now does a truck ton of damage. Where's the armor on the side of Team Buriza? I see none available. Well, I say that and then I look at this Doom. He's got a Shivers and a Crimson Guard finished up. Not a fan of this Guardian Spectre. I still think he's going to need that MKB if he wants to really do significant damage on the Medusa, that is. I actually don't even mind a Bloodthorn at this point on the Spectre, because there's no room for a KB on Minnow. He can always trigger the Lincoln Sphere with the Ethereal Dagger and then drop a Bloodthorn upon him as well, because really Minnow is the only problem. If Minnow dies, the team fight could just well go in favor of Team Buriza. And they know this. They also know that Minnow doesn't have a buyback available, so if they can go YOLO in here during this nighttime, but as I say that, nighttime's going to wear off. I guess, yeah, they made the better call to wait for the next Roshan and then try and go high ground again. How shady looking in the item department. PKB is, well, it's almost online, so that is going to be a fairly useful tool up against the puck more than anyone else. Considering that the Legion Command is one of the only ways to lock down the puck in these team fights. He has a fairly heavy job on his shoulders. But LXG, I mean, they're still getting out-farmed here quite heavily. With every passing minute, the puck just gets more and more money in his coffers. Only going to be a matter of time before he's out there sharing moon shards off to people, getting a Scythe of Vice perhaps to replace that Veil. Or maybe even a Lincoln Sphere just for the defense versus the Legion Command. It's interesting that the Night Stalker chose to go for the plus 50 damage over the movement speed this game. I think the movement speed would have helped his cause a lot more. His job isn't to really hurt heroes at this point, right? I mean, his job is essentially to just control silence and ensure that Minnow is missing a lot of his... Okay, he can't even miss now because of the MKB, but got to ensure that he's just controlling heroes in the team fights. Constantly going in and out with the silences and the slows. To that end, I think the movement speed would have made more sense than just getting raw damage. How's the Spectre looking? Alright, it is the plus 8% dispersion talent that comes out for her. And to supplement that, she's going to go for the Assault Cuirass as well. So no real MKB. I guess she's kind of relying on the Spectre to simply beat herself up. The absence of life steal on the Spectre as well could prove to be problematic. LXG, they popped a smoke, but they're hesitating a little bit. I mean, they want to go out, but they don't know which direction to head in. They know that Rosh is up and that Rosh is being taken. But with these Spectre illusions on the high ground, it's going to be fairly troublesome. Smoke's dispelled, nighttime vision, flying vision from the Aghanim Scepter actually being spotted there as well. So Kaneki's been spotted, Jiren's been spotted as well. The ward's taken out. And again, LXG left in the dark while Roshan gets taken down. Mantis Styles back online. If they want to send out another couple of illusions, and they really should. You can see Jiren getting in position for the hook shot, and you can see Pointless Existence started blocking as well. Shady walking in, they're going to silence him up. They do get the Doom, however, the Ice Blast comes through, connects onto just the Legion Commander. With the horn thrown down, the Doom available as well somewhere. Can't really tell where. This fight is just a complete mess. The drop is there as well. Pointless Existence attempts a TP, but Medusa, she's on the receiving end of the blows, and she's down. 120 seconds without the Medusa. No buyback. Warlock goes down next. Jiren will drop 2. And this could be the beginning of the end here for LXG. The Aegis was claimed as well. This is an Aegis cheese on a Spectre that's absurdly farmed. There's no buyback on the Medusa. There's no buyback on the Warlock. And now, courtesy QWERTY, there's no buyback on the Queen of Pain as well. In fact, the only lone survivor is Jiren, who is brought back and is trying to defend. I just don't see LXG coming back from this. Aghori and Co, they know what's up. They're going for the tier 4s, they're going for the finish, and Kaneki will call it. LXG have tapped out, and Buriza are your winners of the Neon Gaming Studio show match here between Buriza and LXG. Thank you to everyone that's tuned in. It's been a pleasure casting this matchup for you. Impressive stuff coming out from both teams, but Buriza are undoubtedly the better team today. Well, I'm going to leave you with that, guys. This is CloudX from AFK Gaming signing out. If you've enjoyed, of course, don't forget to hit the subscribe button on the channel. You can also find Neon Gaming Studios on Facebook. You can also find me at facebook.com/TheRealCloudX, and we're on Facebook at AFK Gaming Dota 2 as well. A big shout out to the sponsors once again: Samsung QLED, Circle Gaming, AMD, and Fastrack. Have a good night, everyone. I'll see you guys around. This is CloudX signing out.
Messing with my head again. You had your heart set on me, but these feels, they come and go, and they come so easily. Tell me what it is about you that I can't forget, but you're breaking down my walls again just to set me free. Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling? Why do I, baby, why do I love the way you always leave me? Why do I, baby, why do I love the touch but never love the feeling?
Hey guys, we're Sinner's Heist, and you're listening to our new track called Streetlight People, featuring Harley Bird.
The project started with Harley first sending us an acoustic version of the track, which immediately inspired us, so we started rewriting the instrumental.
Our goal was to potentiate the dark and chilling vibe from his vocals using effects and various elements, and then create a prevailing and energetic drop.
We had a blast making it, and hope you guys enjoy it as well.
Hi, I'm Fulton, your Motorboat. Me and Chris Lynn are bringing you a track on NCS called Holding On. I was really honoured to find out that Chris actually wanted to work with me. He was an absolute wonder to work with, and there's no surprise as to why he's been on so many huge tracks already. So obviously jumped at the opportunity. The track is very personal, as it's about being stuck in a loop, living the same old life and being too afraid to take risks to accomplish more. I think this really resonated with me and Chris and led to the synergy and flow in creating this track. I hope this song clicks with and inspires you guys and causes the same serendipity it did with me. Thank you.
I know I'm holding on to this, holding on.